We're live.
You gotta select the stream.
What?
Over there where it's
on that thing,
there.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, for that thing, yeah.
We've got all the kilobits per seconds. Hey, Cutter Down Garage, welcome to the stream.
Somehow, I got something on my glasses. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's in my eye. Doesn't appear to be on my glasses. You ever do that? Get a hair hanging down in front of you, and you just know it's in your glasses. Take it off, and you can't find it. And I wipe my face, put it back on, and there's still a hair there. Can't figure it out.
Hey, Ed. Yes, all the time. I have lots of hair.
You have more hair than I do. Oh,
I wake up with a mouthful of my own hair.
See, I can see something. Oh, I see it now. I see it now. There is something on my glasses.
How's everybody doing tonight? You guys coming from another stream? Is anybody interesting?
Hey, Patrick Sullivan. I can read that without my glasses on.
Hey,
Barely.
Patrick.
Barely, but I can read it.
We're in the shop. It's kind of chilly. It's not super cold.
It's not cold.
Starting to feel warmer. My feet been cold.
Well, the thing is, we're getting used to warmer weather, and then when it cools off a little bit, like in the, a month ago, we would have been feeling really good. It's 68 degrees in here. And today, it feels a little cool because it's been a lot warmer than that.
It's damp, and we don't have the heat going, so.
Oh, yeah, it's damp.
That makes a difference.
Yeah, it's raining and raining and raining.
Oh, Dead Dodge Garage. Is Jamie done?
Is he finished?
Or is he still going?
Yeah.
He's an entertaining guy. He's got a lot of projects. That's his, like...
Well, he's got a business, doesn't he? Or works at a business or something?
Rocket Restorations. I was late to his, just in time for yours, though. Well, Jamie goes for like 3 hours. That's... I don't know.
He and Tony overlap a little, don't they?
They overlap a lot. And
oh, it's still going.
They're not even worried about it. They don't mind. What did he work on this week?
This is a upside down. This is a Buff Del Campo mixed drink.
Oh, Dad's root beer.
Well, this is Dad's cream soda powder and water. Yeah.
What was Dead Dodge Garage's project this week? Was it an old Jeep or something like that? Jeepster? Or...
I don't watch him much because there's so much content, and I do so much with cars, and we do so much with cars that I watch some other things that aren't cars.
Oh, I know.
I watch some aircraft
I get burnout.
I watch some aircraft stuff because, especially anything with flight testing, and because that's what I did. I'm still kind of interested in it, although I'll probably never do that again. And then I don't know what else I watch. Oddball stuff, and some automotive.
I didn't see his stuff. I was watching. I was telling you about it. Junkyard Dudes.
Tired, scrapping out a farm. Work for a year or possibly 2. Another load. The amount of material is mind blowing. Wow. Oh yeah, farm. That's what somebody's going to have to do here. 50 years from now, that we'll have all this junk on this farm.
Yeah.
That's what happens to farms. It's junk. Or that's not junk. It's good stuff, but.
Or it was good stuff at one time until somebody got sick, or, yeah. Time, boy, does time get it just goes fast. You see, I see so many projects. Like when I'm on Marketplace, I see so many basket price projects. People get old cars or projects, and they take them all apart with these grand plans of repainting them and rebuilding them, collecting all the parts. They got a garage full of parts, and then that's it. It never gets done, and in a lot of cases it's never going to.
Turning off my ringer.
Steve Edwards asked, did you watch the Corvette video that he put out? Did you watch Steve Edwards' Corvette video?
I did not.
You didn't?
No.
We're going to, Steve.
Okay. I'm making note to do that.
Yeah. Mention it again during the stream too. Before you leave for the night, mention about your new Corvette video to remind us again as well, because we can't watch it during the stream.
You know what I'll do? I have an app here that's just notes. It doesn't do anything except I can put notes. And I'm gonna put a note.
Gearhead, are you gonna make a video of any of the treasures that you find while you're scrapping out that farm, or are you not allowed to record video while you're working there?
I don't want to write Steve Edwards. I want to write boat anchor.
Is it? It's on your boat anchor channel, right, Steve? It's okay to plug your
Yeah, you can
stuff.
say whatever
So
you
check
need to
out Boat Anchor CB Radio.
Oh, I missed
What
ads.
happened?
I was gonna shut the ads off because it came on so soon, but they're on.
Always with the ads. Those kilobits per second, I guess they cost a lot of money. So we have to support. We have to keep YouTube in the business by helping them run ads every 3 minutes or something like that.
Well, that's how we make money. Our what do we make? I think we made $79 this month.
Oh, well, that's wonderful.
That's wonderful.
Gearhead says a man lived there for 40 years, 5 outbuildings, 4 train cars. Train cars is an unusual. I guess that's like Connex trailers. It's just from 40 years ago. 3 acres of land with things strewn about.
We got 4 acres of things strewn about, but no railroad.
Not 5 outbuildings though.
No, we have 1 outbuilding. Now we have that big ass shed down there. We got 2 outbuildings. Okay, I made a note here so I won't miss it now, because I do check those notes every day.
It says no, the editing would be too much after an 8-hour day. Well, don't record all day. Just make sure you have your camera handy, so if you come across something really, really interesting, that, a little picture of this or that is always kind of neat. Even just a slideshow kind of videos or a little walk around, like if you discover something interesting or really unusual stuff. I don't know though. It sounds like there's a lot of details to what you're doing. Who are you doing all that work for? For yourself, or is the owner paying you, or how's that working out? It could be a real opportunity to get allowed onto a property like that sometimes. And Boat Anchor, mention your new video again later, because right now there's not a lot of people who are in the stream because we just got started and there's other streams going. But like when Dead Dodge Garage ends, a bunch of people will sort of pour in here. Good evening, Barrows.
Barrows is here. Hey.
But
cool.
when the numbers come up later on, mention it again. We're fine with you. Plug in your.
I got a question for Steve. I know you do all the CB radio stuff. Are you also a amateur? Do you have a amateur radio license as well, or are you just strictly CB? Because I've thought about getting an amateur license, and I studied for it, and I'm probably ready to take the test. Sadly, the tests are on the same day we do our lives.
We could just bump it a day 1 week.
Yeah, maybe. But
we could even just change it for a season.
I watch stuff that amateurs are doing, and some of it just seems so lame, and I almost think the CB's better. I don't know. I'm just wondering if Steve does any amateur radio stuff. Today was supposed to be a big 6-meter deal. So there was a guy that was going to run his radio on 6-meter today because there was supposed to be an event on a frequency, and I went there, and he was streaming like for 24 hours, 23 hours. He was streaming slow scan TV on some other frequency that didn't have anything to do with 6 meters. I'm like, what the heck? He promoted all that. When I showed up, it was like, nope.
Wrong thing.
So, I don't know. Talking about railroad, you know what I've always wanted, but this would be like terrible here.
What's that?
I wanted to put in like a little section, short section of railroad tracks and get an old caboose and make that like a radio room or something. But Cabooses, how are you going to move that? I'm dragging a caboose over here. That shouldn't be too hard to run down the road. Uh, and then now it's become kind of a thing. So people pay a lot of money for an old caboose that's in good shape. And most of them are in good shape. They're waterlogged and ruined.
Friend bought it, and we keep all the scrapyard pay. Cool.
Oh. Yeah.
Hefty. Wow.
Well, I talked to Dallas for a while tonight. We were talking about.
How's he doing? Why did he call? He called you?
Well, I called him a while ago, and he didn't answer. So he returned the call like later,
Oh yeah, he's a busy guy.
And yeah, and he was doing something in a shop and had left the phone somewhere else. So, but we talked for a while about what he wants me to do, build an engine for this car. He's got it all planned out in his mind how my engine should be, He thinks I should use like a later model 302 block and use a 289 crank because get one that, it's forged instead of cast, and so it'll be a short stroke, and he thinks I can make power up to like, some real high RPM. He's all excited about it. I'm like, oh my God, this shouldn't cost too much money. Dougster's here. Our fear is gone.
Oh,
Barrow's
potato.
cheaper to build a caboose look-alike than to move and restore an original. I thought about that too. I could just build a caboose, I'm a CBer, not a ham. Okay, that's what Steve says. See, if I go get my ham license, I've got a rig I could use for ham, but it's I'm more. It's really not what I could use as a technician. So I'd have to get more radios and do stuff, and it's like, yeah, probably CB's actually. Back in the old days, you turn on a CB, every channel was completely full of everybody talking. Now it's pretty quiet out there unless the skip rolls in, and then it's kind of interesting. So I don't know, maybe CB will be just fine. Maybe I don't need to go through all that, tell the FCC where I am and get a license and everything, because that's what you're doing. You're telling the government where you are. Raw Dog, I'm back. Sorry, I've been busy with the girlfriend. Well, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that sounds better than us anyways.
And
I'd be worried about you if you'd rather be here than with your girlfriend.
Dick Dastardly's here. Good evening. Oh, I was wondering what trees was. Guys, okay. So, yeah, I don't know what we're doing tonight. We just, we had plans, but the plans fell through because something happened with.
That was this morning.
With the person, yeah, but it was for this afternoon. So then I turned on my TV.
Oh yeah, you were watching it
because the Indy 500. I haven't had my TV on probably in 8 or 9 months. So I turned it on and I watched the Indy 500, or the end of it. I watched from the middle till the end. So that was kind of interesting. And then I got thinking the last time I watched an Indy 500 was the first year that what's her name, Danica Patrick ran, and that was 05. So it's been 20 years since I watched an Indy 500.
Whoa.
I had no idea who any of the drivers were. I was completely lost. But then I was amazed. The lead car, they got all the telemetry coming down and cameras in them and everything. He's going like 234 miles an hour down the straight. Holy crap. Oh, wow. Little tiny car. That's crazy.
Dean, you get 2 points for calling out your LG television and PG Tech electric goods outlet advertisements. Thanks to them for supporting the stream.
See, Patrick Sullivan says, get it, Buff. It's good for 10 years. Be renewed. Correct. When 10 meters open, it's fun. Well, 10 meters is almost like CB, isn't it? See, my ham rig was modified by somebody in the past. So the 10 meters is now 11 meters. So it can be used as a CB, but it's, pretty fancy CB radio. But then but the rest of it I really can't use as a technician. And once I get the license, then I want to upgrade to general and then amateur expert because that's just how I am. I can't sit still. So then I'll be able to do all the other things. But the one I'm really interested in is 6 meter. I don't know why. It just sounds like something cool. And I don't know. It just does. Dean Stevens, LG television, and
I already read that.
oh,
skip it. I gave him points.
Oh, those are ads. Okay, I thought it was something. Oh yeah, Gearhead, the Wienermobile 5,000 or 500. I watched that yesterday online. That was a pretty silly thing. I think one of them screwed his engine up. He was the guy that was leading the race, and he smoked it. And I bet he was running like in second or third gear or something. Keep the power up. You missed the Wiener. No, I didn't miss the Wiener race. I did
Wiener
watch
race?
it. I watched it yesterday or whatever. It was earlier. Yeah, and I watched all the introductions of the drivers and everything. The whole thing was pretty silly. But I watched it because I'd never seen anything like that. I didn't know there were 6 of those vehicles. There were 6 of those Wieners. And then they were talking all about, everybody they interviewed was all, they're going to relish the race and they're going to
Relish the race!
and I don't know, everything was like that,
It was funny. I
The
love
whole-
funny jokes.
The whole thing was puns. It was stupid.
No, that's the smartest thing.
It was stupid.
Puns are amazing.
Dean Stevenson says, "Oh, it was awesomeness. How rude." I thought it was pretty silly. But I guess, if I was driving one of those things, I'd do it. I'd have fun.
Right.
See,
They're just going to relish
Dick-
the competition.
Dick Dasherly. Oh, well, yeah, and they had all the different things you'd say for hot dogs,
I just hope nobody's out there hot dogging on the track.
Oh, yeah, and
I
mustered
want
up
everybody to be safe.
the strength to carry on, and they were behind, so they had to catch up, all this stupid stuff. How dare you put ketchup on a hot dog?
Man.
Until I had a Chicago hot dog, I didn't understand this thing with no ketchup, and now I get it.
He looked it up. So
I bought a Chicago hot dog, and right away I had to have another one, and you would never want to put ketchup on that. It's just too good the way it is. Oh, what's this? Dean Stevenson says, "That's what I think, Kimbardini." What did you say? I don't know what you said. You said something to Dean. Yeah,
Puns are good. That's what I said.
It was epic, galvanizing. They even played ketchup, yeah. Well, what I did like about that race? It gave me a chance to see the whole track very well because they only went like 60 miles an hour, so it took them a while to get around the track. So I did get a good view of the whole track, and I usually don't get that. You've been bewitched, Buff. Ketchup rocks. Ketchup rocks. If I had a hot dog and just a hot dog and a bun, I'd put ketchup and mustard on it. Maybe some relish, maybe not. But a Chicago hot dog, man, you see how a Chicago hot dog is. It is so good the way it is. Ketchup, no, it doesn't belong on there. And they have some special relish that's different than other relish. It's not like pickle relish in a jar. It's Chicago hot dog relish. It's different. It's freaking good. The last time Kim and I went down that road where that place is that has the Chicago hot dogs, they were closed. She is open probably 4 days a week or so, and it's never the same day. So sometimes I go by there, they're open, sometimes not. Dick Dashley says, "I can't eat a hot dog without covering up the taste with ketchup or something." Oh, you'd like a Chicago hot dog because there's a whole lot of stuff in there that's not hot dog. The hot dog kind of gets lost in a Chicago hot dog because it's like this big around, and it's got so much stuff, and it's just so good. Dougster says,
Dougster knows.
Yeah, I watched the first time I saw Chicago hot dogs. I saw Dougster and John Cope and somebody else. Oh, well, I know who it was. I think it was Jeff Rowe from Two Hacks.
Yeah.
I think he was there too. They all went out. So, but you know, I'm not going to drive to Chicago to get a hot dog. And then I was driving back from one of my doctor's appointments, and I see this food trailer truck thing, and it says Chicago hot dog. So I veer in there, and I said, "Is this really a Chicago hot dog?" And she, "Yep." I said, "Okay, I'll have one." She starts asking, "What do I want?" I said, "Just make it the way it's supposed to be, a Chicago hot dog." And so I bought two of them. Brought one to Kim, and I ate one. I did a short on it, and it was, oh man, you got me converted so quickly. Ivor, evening, folks. Good evening, Ivor. Dean Stevenson says Chicago relish goes wholly farther. Uh-oh, I'm not sure what that means. Let's see, Barrows. Everyone in front of me is tomato, and it leads me to ketchup. Ketchup, yeah. Oh man.
When you guys use JB Weld, do you use the JB Weld or do you use the JB Weld Quick?
Oh, I was gonna pick that up.
Don't pick it up. It's like sticky.
I know, but let me pick it up when you're finished squeezing. It's quick.
Oh, it still smells like JB Weld. Don't worry about that.
Well, some quick epoxies are not epoxy. Some quick epoxies are what is that stuff? Somebody's gonna make points here. What is this stuff? It's not polyester. It's not epoxy. It's the other thing they use, the fiberglass. Dean Stevens will probably get this. It's yeah, I can't think what it is.
Oh, the steel stick. Yeah, the steel stick is nice if you need something, if it needs to be nice and firm too, because it's not so liquidy. This stuff sets up real quick. It's firm.
Oh, Garrett says we used to have a place in our mall when I was a kid. Hot dogs and more. They made 8 style of dogs. Dougster Wolverine. No, not plastic. It's vinyl ester. Vinyl ester. Yeah, I guess you're close saying plastic. It's all plastic though. So vinyl ester. A lot of 5-minute epoxies were vinyl ester, but yeah, methyl ethyl ketchup. No, Dean, you're off on that one. Methyl ethyl ketchup.
Methyl ethyl ketchup.
Because you know what MEK is? Methyl ethyl ketone.
Yeah.
But he made it methyl.
I forget what methyl ethyl ketone is.
Oh, we have some up here, don't we?
It's some kind of
solvent. Yeah, it's a solvent. It's a solvent for. It works real well with vinyl. Okay. Because the coatings for, I don't see any up there. The coatings for aircraft fabric, a lot of aircraft fabric is vinyl based, and you use MEK for a solvent. So JB Weld doesn't work on a lawnmower intake. It turns to goo. Uh-oh.
Really?
Uh-oh. Kim's over here coating an intake with this stuff.
Turns to goo.
Patrick Sullivan, we had a corn dog spot out in the mall, 80s. Damn, they were good. Do you know the I'm trying to think of the name of the yeah, there was a mall. There was a hot dog place in the mall where I used to go. It was a West Coast one. And it was pretty good, I guess. But, I mean, nothing beats a Chicago hot dog. It's just, these guys are always talking about Chicago hot dogs. I had no idea what they were talking about until I had one. It's a whole new experience.
No, it's not. It's just a hot dog.
It's not just
stuff on it.
It's not just a hot dog.
It's just
I don't know. Barrows. It's a real pain in the ass, but I've used steel stick to restore old steering wheels. Works better than Bondo because it doesn't shrink. It's harder than heck to sand and shake. You know what I use on steering wheels? You know, like where steering wheels crack and everything? You use epoxy, like West System epoxy, and you mix in some of their Oh, here I go. Got to pull it out of my
What are
dead brain.
those little beads? Glass
No, no,
beads
no,
or
no, no,
no?
no, no. It's called. I've got some over there. I can't think of it. Anyway, you mix that stuff with it, make it a real thick, like putty-like stuff, and you put it in there, and it's very strong. It doesn't shrink. It sands pretty nicely. It's a little tougher to sand than it probably sands about like Bondo. You got to let it cure real well though, and that doesn't come undone. It works really well. Um, oh, what's the name of that? The filler. There's all different fillers that are made by West System because West System epoxy is real runny. It's not quite as like runny like water, but almost. So you gotta mix it with stuff. And man, it's like right there. I can almost say it, but I can't say it.
That's
Yeah,
the
I don't
brain
know.
damage,
The
people.
brain damage.
The
Oh, milliputty works
drain
good also.
damage.
I don't know what milliputty is. Patrick Sullivan, lifelong resident of Illinois. Never had a Chicago style hot dog. Well, you're probably Southern Illinois, where it's. But I don't even know a Southern Illinois. I was 120 miles south of Chicago, where I lived, and it was farmland. It was farm territory, and an Air Force base. But it was farmland. It was nothing like Chicago. But Chicago's gorilla hair. No, not gorilla hair. Um, I'm, I'm, I, God, I can't pull it out of my
Well,
stupid
go
dead
on
brain.
and look at it on the shelf then, because
It's gonna drive me nuts then.
I know. Go look at it. It's on the shelf, isn't it? Or
Well,
is it in the house?
yeah, it's on the. It might be in the house, but because we got a lot of epoxy stuff in the house.
Oh, shit. Okay, I don't know where it is then.
Let's see here, Raw Dog, and I'm going all 3 days to the Amsoil Championship Off-Road Antigo, Wisconsin for 3 days and shooting content for YouTube. Hey, that sounds good.
Nice.
Okay, you gotta when you come back in here after you put that up, we'll put up a link to your put a link up to your video so we can all see it. Gearhead says chili dogs are where it's at. See, and a chili dog's a whole nother thing too. Chili dogs are really good. Completely different than a Chicago hot dog, but a
And
chili
hot
dog.
dog chili is not the same as chili
Dogs, I think, are really good. I remember eating those.
Did you guys see my intake manifold? Check it out.
Okay,
Not everybody was here the other night when I was working on it. This is the intake manifold for my Bronco 2, right? And this is the center of the motor. The the intake has a lower and an upper piece. So this part takes the place of the original upper piece. The lower part comes from both sides to this, and then this bolts on, and it throws the carburetor over off to the side of the driver's side valve cover so that it lowers the hood.
Don't get your arm
lowers
in
the
it.
carburetor down to where you can close the hood without. And that's going to mount this this one barrel Holly on there. Should be good. That's what I'm working on. I figured I'd point it out in case anybody
Put
was
that right in front of the chat.
curious what I'm doing.
Can I tip that over? Is there any fuel in it?
No,
Okay.
It's been dry for
Okay,
year.
so let's see here. Barrow's put up a link to Raw Dog's place. Okay, thanks for the link. Yeah, but come back after you put the video up. We'll put a link right to the video.
Thanks, Barrows.
Yeah, it's good to have a
When we
body
were talking to Boat Anchor earlier, he was talking about he has a new video about his Corvette. So if you could find a link to Boat Anchor there, that'd be really cool too. But
Boat Anchor CB Radio has if you could find the
but
link,
it's okay if you can't.
the link to his what Kim just said, his Corvette video, because most of what he does is CB radios, but then he also, he's an electronics guy, so he's working on electronic stuff on his Corvette.
But some people might want to see it. When he was
it's
telling
a
us about it
Corvette.
earlier,
Yeah,
there was only like 4 people in here.
Yeah, of course, it's a Corvette. So
there's a lot of Corvettes on the market right now. If you're looking for a used Corvette, you can find a decent one for a really reasonable price. Because most people can't drive a Corvette most of the time.
I never understood that till I had a Corvette.
Yeah.
And the first time I went to the grocery store and I bought all the groceries like I usually do, I come out, it's like,
where
am I going to put this stuff? And it was a C4 Corvette, so I put a little bit in the back. I put a lot on the front seat next to me, and I could barely see over out the window on the passenger side. And I go, okay, that's why people don't take these to the store. And it's got so more and more things I did, I couldn't use the Corvette. And pretty soon the Corvette was just sitting in my shop.
Yep.
And it's sad because that's what happens.
Yeah.
Patrick says he subbed to Raw Dog. Well, cool. I've got
Where
it.
did Raw Dog say he's from?
Yeah, Raw Dog. I think he's from up in the upper
Minnesota or something.
Yeah, Michigan or Minnesota or somewhere. Yeah,
Is
Wisconsin,
he coming to?
Wisconsin, something like that.
Is
I
he
don't know.
gonna try and come to No Name Nationals, or is that not his thing for him?
Yeah, Raw Dog, you're gonna come to No Name Nationals.
We're
I
not
don't know.
giving you a hard time about it. It's hard to go to everything.
Oh yeah, we go to. There's so many things I want to go to. We go to one thing a year because that's what we can do.
We could go to more. But
We might be able to go to more, but we need to be here, And it takes money to go
It
places,
does. It's expensive.
and it takes.
Going to get that car was one of your vacations this year.
Yeah, going to get my car was a vacation. Yeah, we did it in one day. That's a vacation, isn't it? Drive. What did we drive? 600, almost 600 miles that day. Dallas and I went and got my which car?
The parts car.
The parts car. Yeah, almost 600 miles in
Well,
one
that
day.
was one of our vacations last year. Was when we went and got your car in the first place. That was an expensive vacation. You paid for most of that.
Yep.
Insurance money.
Insurance money. Yep. I bought a old car.
Bought a trip to Texas and an old car. It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. I guess. What the heck? Yeah, it was fun.
You don't regret it.
No, I don't.
To this
regret
day,
it.
you're really happy with the car.
I miss my Mazda, but I'm glad I have this car because this is a car that I remember from the past. The only thing is when I had it in the past, it was a 4-year-old car. And when I have it now, it's a 47-year-old car. And there's a difference because 47-year-old car needs a lot of little crap. Okay, can't find Boat Anchor's place. Too many channels with that in it. Yeah, it's like Boat Anchor's CB radio repair something. He's in here tonight with his name, Steve Edwards. Sometimes he comes in as Boat Anchor. I don't know what it is. Boat Anchor CB.
Well, maybe he'll tell us.
Yeah, maybe if he's still in here, maybe he'll tell us the name.
Give us the name without the
with the name,
link.
and then we'll put up a link.
Yeah, without the link, Boat Anchor, if you're in there.
You gotta be.
Thank you for trying, Barrows. It's okay. It's okay. We don't need to make everybody work real hard.
Raw Dog says, "I wish I could." Yeah, it's you're in Wisconsin, I think, right? I think Raw Dog's in Wisconsin, but I'm not sure. He's up
that event you're talking about, though, that sounds pretty freaking cool.
It's up in that.
Hopefully you enjoy that.
Oh, Patrick Sullivan says he's subbed to Boat Anchor. He'll find it. Okay, good, thanks. I'm subbed to Boat Anchor too, but my laptop's down in the house, and we're up in the shop, so I don't have all that. I'd have to go log in and find it. I'm not gonna go away from the stream to do that. But yeah, we try to put up as much as we can. Yeah, Patrick Sullivan can get the actual name of the channel. We'll put it up.
If you like CB radio stuff,
he does almost all CBs, but he's also a Corvette guy, and he fixes some cars because he's an electronics guy, so he fixes electronic stuff.
There's overlap.
And I think there are a few CB radio people in here and ham radio people in here too. So there's some overlap just because.
Who was it that told me to use JB Well? I think it was Barrows told me I better use some JB Well because if I just use this other stuff, that it'll have issues.
Okay, Kim.
Coolness, man.
Oh, Andrew Button says greetings. Where did I just see Andrew Button? I just saw you somewhere. I think you made a comment in one of my shorts. I think that's what I said. I'm going to take a walk over to the cabinet for a minute. I'll be right back.
Are you looking for that stuff?
Yeah, I think it's in the house. Maybe if I walk over there, I'll remember.
It used to be on the shelf, but I think I changed it all around.
You always change everything around. Keep me on my toes.
Well, I'm trying to get stuff set up.
Right.
Trying to make room. It ain't easy. Being cheesy. This manifold had better work, because I put like a whole week of freaking Sundays working on this thing. A month of Sundays.
Oh, I know where it is. It's in one of these tubs up here that says Fiberglass.
Oh yeah. Those are hard to get down.
I'm not gonna try. I'll find it on my phone. It's driving me nuts. My brain is so. Oh, there it is. Patrick Sullivan puts YouTube. Boat Anchor CB Radio Repair is the name of the channel. Yellow C4ing. C4ing. Let's see, Andrew Button. I am an electronics guy, ham radio and aeronautics. KFRO is my call sign. KFRO. KFRO. That seems like there's a number missing or something. Let's see here. Hippie Long. Oh, Hippie Long's here.
Hey, welcome in, Hippie Long.
Kim, what about spring?
Hippie Long's always so generous. He sent us
nuts.
pistachios.
That was so good.
That was so cool of him.
Yeah. Kim, what about, Hippie Long says spray the whole intake with that sealer in a can. Flex Seal.
Flex Seal?
Flex Seal.
I don't know. I don't think that's fuel resistant. This is like pretty much done.
Oh, it's Kate. I gotta get my phone, take a picture of this while all this stuff's up on the screen, because I'm not gonna try to write it all down while I'm on here. It's so much easier just to take a picture. Take a picture of the screen, then I have all that information. Barrows put it up. Link to Boat Anchor's place. There you go. Thank you, sir.
This ought to work. This ought to work. Now that once this has time to cure up, I can install it, and then I got to put torque converter bolts in, and then the Bronco 2 should run. That motor ran on the other car, so there's no reason why it shouldn't run once I have an intake manifold on it. This is not pretty, but it's the direct approach. Brute force, as you might say, right? It's brute force. It's gonna work. It's just it's not pretty, but that's okay.
Luis is here.
Hey, Luis. Nice to see you.
Oh, Dean Stevenson. See the Corvette TPI video. Find the Boat Anchor. Oh my God, there's the phone's going nuts.
The TPI?
Okay.
The TPI of Boat Anchor?
Probably, yeah, which is two-port injection, which is probably what his is. I think his is an 85 Corvette, which would have been the first year for the TPI. The 84 Corvette had the Crossfire injection, which a lot of people don't like. That's one of those things that people hate for no reason. I've worked on those things. I've used them. I've driven them. I like them, man. It's just two throttle bodies. It's like a cross ram dual quad setup that's two throttle bodies. I don't know why people hate them so much.
It's just fun to hate things sometimes.
No, it's like people get this hate thing for some kinds of cars, and I sometimes don't get it. Rodog says, "What's the weather like?" Oh man, it's supposed to rain for the next 4 days, and it's for this time of year. It's kind of cool. Like right now, it's about 68 degrees, something like that, 67 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's wet. It's not raining right now, but everything's wet. It's real humid, wet.
Could be better, but it's okay.
Bonafide custom Kim.
That's right. That's right. Someday when I'm dead, it'll be worth a bunch of money, because you'll be able to say, Kim made that. The Kim Fixes Things channel. That was this featured on Kim Fixes
You see the C4, just like my best friend's son has here in New Zealand. This is the L98. I love the Crossfire fuel injection. Yeah, I had a friend that had Crossfire in a 82, which is the first year for it, which is a C3 Corvette, and that thing was no slouch. I mean, it was a low-powered, California smog car, but it'd roll right along. I'll tell you, I had a '64 Ford with a 351 Windsor that I built, and it was okay. and he and I had run, and I beat him. He didn't like to admit this. I beat him, but I'd always see peripheral vision. I could see the nose of his car right next to me all the way up till my speedometer's buried. And both those cars would go about the same speed, which is about 130 plus a couple miles an hour. And he'd be right there every time. So I don't know. It's not like Corvette fast, but it was a stock car, and it got 28 miles a gallon. I mean, you can't complain about that, you know.
I could complain about it.
Oh, you could complain about
The
it.
EPA could complain about it. They hate everything.
They hate everything. So this was now I can't even remember the name of the epoxy.
West Systems.
Oh, God.
Hey, Space Cat, welcome to the stream. We're cleanup crew. I'm Kim of Kim Fixes Things. You can find my channel elsewhere on YouTube. Not that I ever put up any videos, so there's no point.
It popped right up. Use West System epoxy, and you mix it with their 406 colloidal silica. And I don't know why I couldn't remember colloidal silica.
Show them so they can see what the logo looks like.
Okay, let's see if I can get it bigger. You mix it with this stuff, and it is, man, I shake. You mix it with that stuff, and it's kind of a powdery, stringy stuff, and you don't want to get it in your face, your eyes, but you just keep putting it in and mix it, put a little more, mix it, put a little more, until you got a thick paste, like really thick paste. And then, like we were talking about fixing steering wheels earlier, you use that just like you would Bondo, and you let it cure up, and let it cure. Or use the fast. There's two different West systems. There's fast, which takes like 5 or 6 hours to cure at normal temperatures, like 70 degrees. And then there's a slow. Don't use that. It'll take you forever, unless you're in really hot weather. I used to use that in Arizona. So then let it cure for at least a day. Then sand it just like Bondo and paint it. It won't shrink. It's strong as shit, man. It's good stuff. So let's see here. Lisa said hi. Everybody saying hi to everybody. Andrew Button, compared to an LT1 or later LS1, the earlier stuff just didn't have the gumption. Yeah, you're right. But still, I don't dislike the crossfire injection because it worked really well. And I don't understand what all the dislike was about it. And there was a guy in town that had one. I didn't know him well. I probably met him once. But he was a friend of Carl's. And Carl was the guy that had the C3 that I knew about. But he had a crossfire. That guy had a crossfire. And he put, lower gears in the rear end. And I don't know what all he did to it. But that thing got with the program, It was a pretty fast car. But he had money. He did well. So when the tune port injection came out, he bought one of those right away. Well, actually, so did Carl. Carl sold his C3, his 82 Corvette, and he bought an 85 when those came out. Let's see. Dean, C3 Crossfire, 16.1 second quarter mile, 136 miles an hour. So that's what it do is 136, the C4 140, 15.9 second quarter mile, 200 or 205 horsepower net. Yeah, I think Carl's was, I don't know what it was in the C3. The C4, I remember that 205 horsepower. I didn't know it'd go 140 because Carl would top out and I'd top out. My speedometer buried past, it's 120 in some space. Couldn't see the needle anymore. But I always figured it was about a little over 130, but maybe we were going 140. But the nose of his car was always like right at my driver's window. It was kind of pretty funny because it's just always the same. Like we should have been doing that. Yeah, Mexican spec should be rolling in soon. Let's see. Raw Dog, F1 or FE? Not sure what that's about. Let's see. Also, my friend Jamie, he got the Jungle Book VHS from '97. Space Cat, everybody saying hi. Dean Luis, okay.
Doug asked your thoughts on the Street Outlaws 405. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I used to watch them a lot. 405 is their area code, so they called it the 405, and that's where they did all their street racing. which of course was a blocked off street. You know, they made it up like it was police had come and everything, but Barrows goes, I'll keep that in mind. But I used to watch that back when I was watching TV. I watched the Street Outlaws a lot, but I've kind of, I don't watch them anymore. Andrew Button says the biggest problem with the Crossfire was that GM cast all the intakes with the 305 intake port size. When put on a 350, it choked it down somewhat. Yeah, I never moved one over to a 350. It was just, well, maybe it was on a no, that was a 305, I think. Mexican Spec is here.
Welcome in, Mexican Spec.
Tonight
is he coming in from
he says it's a burn night.
Dutch?
Burn night, so he won't be here long. Yeah, what the chat's going kind of fast, so I feel like I'm not able to keep up with it. Andrew Butt had a Crossfire with 4-speed and a 3-speed splitter on the back of. Oh yeah, a bad riding car. Yeah, the 84 was rough on the kidneys. I remember that. I had an 87, and it was a lot easier on my butt. The 84 was I think it was just a race car for the street. It was. I mean, the engine wasn't, but the car was a stiffly suspended car, to say the least. Let's see.
I've never owned a snowmobile, Raw Dog.
Dean Stevens says a second quicker over the quarter mile, 85 versus 82. Oh, yep, probably was. I never drove his 85, but then I had an 87 but by the time I had the 87, it was an older car. Snowmobile vesting. See, I lived in Ohio, and there were a lot of people into snowmobiles, but I just never got into it. L98 definitely had more low-end grunt. Dog, best street outlaw guy, like off the TV show. Well, I don't know. They were all fun. You know, there was, I can't pull names up right now. Who's the guy with all the Pontiacs? He had the Pontiac, and then later he had a different Pontiac, and then, what was his name? Daddy something big. I don't remember his name. Daddy something. And he got in a hell of a crash. I remember that. Stray Bullet says, hi, Buff and Kim. Yeah, it was probably quite a group of people. I liked watching them there for a while, but I don't know, got old. Okay, Barrows is, I don't know. It's going so fast I can't keep up with it. Crashes Roadrunner just checking in after the Coca-Cola 600.
Ooh. Oh. Is that the Indy car or is that a NASCAR?
No, that's probably NASCAR. Cope is here. How you doing?
Hey, John. Welcome to the stream.
Man, that's how he's way up the top of the chat already. That's why I'm not keeping up real well. Yeah, John Cope, you missed unless you were here earlier and weren't saying anything. I was going on and on about how great Chicago hot dogs are and how it's not like a normal hot dog. And no, you'd never want to put ketchup on it. And yeah, I'd put ketchup on a hot dog and a bun with the ketchup and mustard. But
that's how you get John Cope in the channel. You know that. You say Chicago hot dog in the mirror 3 times, and John Cope shows up in your stream.
but a Chicago hot dog, it's like there's a hot dog buried in there somewhere, but there's a lot of stuff, and it's just like a whole meal. I mean, it's just so good. And no, you wouldn't want to put ketchup on them. Now they went to small tire. Oh, yeah, because some of them ran small tires and some of them ran bigger tires. Yep, I remember that. I didn't know what small tire and big tire was because I wasn't a drag racing guy. I remember having to look that up back when stuff was going on. 84 rode like a race car and respond like a farm truck. Wise was the point. 87 L98 was a better car. And my 87 was it was stiff but it wasn't like the 84. And because I drove an 84 one time, I was surprised. And then but the 87 still, you go into a corner really hard and it'd hold and hold. And when it let loose, oh man, the back end was coming around right now. And yeah, Big Chief, that was his name. So, oh yeah, and of course, Farm Truck and Asian. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's why I started watching was because of Farm Truck. That was like the funniest thing I ever seen. You know, the tailgate on his camper shell back there flapping in the breeze, and he's beating everybody with his whole truck. That was like the coolest thing I ever saw. Yeah, Luis Pontiac. Yeah, Daddy Dave. Yeah, Pontiacs. Yeah, they were one of my favorite cars. Yeah, I just saw Cope put up a video. Did I watch it? I think there was a new video up, and I don't think I watched it. I think it's kind of in my queue down there to watch at the house. He was from memory. The drag factor was 0.42 for 82 versus the 85 was way slicker, 0.34. You know, the 82 looked like it was air and flow over it real nice, but I know it wasn't quite as good. Mexican Spec says more hot dog talk here. Yeah, we were talking about hot dogs, but that was before you got here. Yeah, you never put ketchup on a hot dog. Well, I'll put ketchup on a hot dog with just a hot dog and a mustard and ketchup, but not on a Chicago hot dog with all the. I mean, it's just like a whole thing, you know. No, you never do that. Just some nasty hot dog you bought in a store. I'd probably do that. Uh, yeah, Monza, Chuck, Doc, Bert, Nova, Dominic. Yeah, all those guys. Yeah, I remember them now. I can't pull up names like you can. Ryan 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 Martin. This is what a hot dog looks like here. Oh, he put up a. Okay, do I look at that? Can I look at that, Kim? I can click on that.
You can click on it, won't hurt nothing.
It just does.
Go ahead.
No, I don't want to leave you.
No, go ahead. Go to site. It won't hurt anything.
What the hell is that, Mexican Spec? That's got like onions and white stuff. What's all the white stuff? That looks like sugar. You put sugar on a hot dog?
Oh, maybe it's like blue cheese.
Oh, maybe it's blue cheese. I don't know what that is. Okay, so that
just minimize it.
Just kill. Oh, minimize it.
Either way, whatever you want to do.
Okay, so yeah, I looked at that Mexican Spec. If the hot dog guy won't give you free ones,
that's right. All the advertising in the world, they still won't give you free hot dogs.
No, I know. It's just
I'm
not advertising for this woman down there. Although I did a video on her place there because they're so good.
Well, that's just because you wanted a short.
Yeah, it was a short for me. But yeah, why not? You know, I'll give her a shout out. But I'm not gonna give her like free advertising for every. Yes, ketchup goes on a ketchup. Sometimes even catsup. Yeah, there's catsup and there's ketchup. I know. When I was a little kid, I started reading the ketchup bottles. Someone said catsup. I saw
the mouse. There's the mouse. Oh, there's the mouse. Give me your camera.
Why?
Oh, too late. Start.
We got a mouse running around here. I got a trap set. Maybe to find the trap. I don't like to kill little animals, but you know what? They just destroy so much stuff.
He's living in the Craftsman toolbox right here. He steps on the mouse trap to get into the toolbox.
What a little shithead, you know?
I should get my thing and I should set up the camera so that we could capture the mouse being.
That's a hot dog here. Oh, it is cheese. It is a full meal. Yeah, I bet that's good too. Barrels, aerodynamics are strange. A Ford Taurus has better aero than a Lambo Countach.
Well, Ford has more development money.
Well, but the Countach looked like, I mean, you know, it's like, what, 40 inches off the ground and looks like it's just like a wedge going through the air, but it doesn't come out that way. But it sure looks cool. And, you know, the C3 Corvette, Dean was talking about the drag coefficient, but C3 Corvettes, you know, they're like the first C3s had a whole different front end on them than the last C3s. So I'm sure there were differences there. Mexican Spec. Oh, Mrs. One-Eyed Cat's here. Hey. Wow, Mexican Spec said it's $2 for one of those. Yeah, here I paid $12 for two of them here. But those are Chicago hot dogs, but they're a full meal. Mexican Spec, they put bacon around the hot dog, then all the veggies, and 2 or 3 types of cheese. Yeah, that's probably good too.
Darn it, I need to get closer.
Straight Bullet says that's all that's allowed on a hot dog. Tavo, How you doing? Foreigner Gate crashing this party. Man, how are you doing down there? Oh, it's Monday, isn't it? You're probably on lunch or something. Man, it's already Monday there. See, Monday here is a holiday this year, or this week. Monday's a holiday, so we thought about coming on tonight. I thought maybe we're better coming on tomorrow night, but we thought, we'll come on tonight. I'm glad
Well, if
we
we come on
did.
tomorrow night, that puts us back-to-back nights.
Yeah. So I don't know what we'll do. Yeah, if we go tomorrow, yeah, and then we'll be back Tuesday night with the Rods and Ramblers. Mrs. One-Eyed Cat had a dead bird on her porch today.
Oh no! How'd that? Kitty cat? Kitty cat?
My dog is bad. I love playing with the bubbles yet. Turning 23 on June 14th. You're 23. You're 22. Man, young man. June 14th. You know what day that is? I'm sure you know. Isn't that Flag Day? In the U.S., that's Flag Day, I think. Let's see. Hippie Long, get a little shotgun and a tiny grill. Have some mouse steaks. Eee. You know, in the Philippines, they do that. And in Vietnam, they do that. But I'm not so into eating rats and mice. I know in the Philippines, I've seen people cook rats.
Really?
And I think in China, too. Didn't the guys do the China show? I think when they were still in China, they were somebody cooking. You know, they take the rat and they fillet it open like this and get all the guts out of it and they cook it and it's white meat. I don't know. I don't know if that doesn't sound really interesting to me, but I don't know. It's got a lot of people and no money. It's probably something. And if you grow up with that as a meal, I don't know, I guess. Mrs. One-Eyed Cat, did I say June 14th? I did say June 14th. And that's because Raw Dog said that's his birthday. Hippie Long, 99 cents for a pack of hot dogs. I still have a problem with hot dogs because hot dogs and hot dog buns don't come in the same number of packs. So there I am in the store with a pack of hot dogs and buns, and I'm trying to figure out how many to buy, find the lowest common denominator. So you come up with an even number of buns and an even number of hot dogs. But then you end up with way too many, So
You know what I do?
I don't know what you do.
I just throw the extra away.
Throw the extra away. I used to take the extra hot dog buns and just make sandwiches, throw something else on them, Tavo is still begging for rain here. Oh man, it's been raining and raining, and we got 4 more days of rain here. Can we ship some of that to you?
Yeah, you can have all the rain.
Let's see.
Mail it to you.
I have heard stories. I am glad I live here. $2.50 for good taco with a lot of meat, all fresh. One day we're gonna have to go to Mexico, like down into Mexico a ways, not border town. Border towns are fun, but I don't know. Mexican Spec always makes it sound so good. Andrew Button, yeah, you get better food cheaper. Nothing good going around here.
Right.
Mexican Spec people eat pig and they eat all. Going June 14th. Andrew Button, rattlesnake meat, Chicago style. I've never eaten snake. My son was in some kind of survival training, military survival training, and they caught a rattlesnake and they cooked it and ate it. I said, what it was like? He says, it's kind of sticky. I went, okay. Stray Bullet says ketchup goes good on all rodents. Andrew Button, ketchup should just be thrown in the trash can, nothing else. Well, Kim eats ketchup, but she eats it not on hot dogs, I don't think. Maybe she does. Mexican Spec says ketchup. I think that's what he's talking about. That's the only vegetable he eats. Come visit, Buff. At least the food will be good. You know what I want to do, but I don't know if I'll ever do it, is go to Arizona, and while we're there, I've got a lot of friends there, so I could park my car somewhere and take one of those really good Mexican buses down there, because I think the buses there are a good experience compared to here. Because buses here are pretty piss poor experience. Get on a Greyhound sometime and see how you're treated. You know, I remember Greyhounds when I was younger, like my military age, like 40, 50 years ago. They were they weren't luxury, but they were professional, and they were nice to you, and they were just, you felt like a customer. And now it just, they treat you like a dirtbag, you know? That's, and drivers don't show up, and I've had drivers falling asleep with a passenger up there slapping the driver, trying to keep him awake. Woman up there yelling at a driver one time. I'm on a bus. She goes, "Your responsibility is to stay awake." And the woman driving's going, she's dozing off. Go, I know, I'm trying to stay awake. And the woman's shaking her and goes, "It's your responsibility. It's your responsibility to stay awake." And I'm riding on this stupid bus, you know.
Good Lord.
It's like, what am I doing? I just think the Mexican buses would be a whole lot better when I just see them. I just expect that they're better, you know, just looking at them. It's like, oh, that's going to be a better thing.
I mean, that's a pretty low bar to set. It's better than that.
Well, I know I see Mexican buses come up into like Tucson, and then they head down I-19 back into Mexico. And it's, you know, I'm sure they're Mexican tour buses that come up into the U.S., and they look like really nice luxury buses. And at night when you pass, when you see all the screens in there and everybody's in there on the internet or watching movies or something, you know, they just look like something better, you know. They look like a Greyhound in there. Rue burgers. They asking Mexican Specs asking Tavo. Rue burgers. Jack in the Box, supposedly. Stray bullet. Bring a wristwatch with you to bribe the federales. No, I got a story about that. A friend of mine in Mexico had to bribe the cops. He was pretty happy he did. Oh, Buddy Carfano says ketchup's only good on French fries. Oh yeah, it
We
is.
did used to eat lots of ketchup on French fries.
Mexican Spec says yes. The bus line is Tufesa. Tufesa or Tufesa? Tufesa. It leaves Phoenix and comes directly there. Oh yeah, well that would be okay, because I could get up to Phoenix. Except in Phoenix, I don't have a place to park my car. So yeah, I don't know. I'd have to work that out. See, in Yuma, I've got lots of friends and places I can park a car. You know, Kim's getting ready to do something. I can tell she's like going at it over here.
Just doing a little bit of tightening.
Andrew Button, I was on a bus in Mexico where we all passed around exotic spirits not available north of the border. I do not remember it all, but I know it was a good time. Yeah, see, I probably wouldn't be doing that. Luis says, when I was a kid, I was in first grade in high school back in 2010. Wow, you're a young man. But these buses have two drivers. The second is asleep under the bus. Oh, in the baggage area. You know, when I was in England, they had a driver and a co-driver. And you drive along for an hour or so, and they pull off, and they swap drivers, and then they drive along for another hour, and they'd swap drivers. I'd never seen anything like that. Stray bullet. Do people bring chickens and goats on the Mexican bus? I've seen that in the Philippines. Hippie Long says absinthe. Well, see, there's absinthe you can buy here. That's Kim. We have max headroom going on here. She's blowing the camera, trying to make the camera cool off.
Getting dizzy.
She's getting dizzy. Oh, it's still doing it. Okay, I gotta do camera repair here. You do camera repair. There's holes, and you blow air in the holes, and maybe the camera will cool off. Don't know.
That really seems to work.
Let's see. Randa Ricky is here. Good evening.
Hi, Randa.
Movement gets me blue show. What does that mean? Kim.
What's that?
You're smarter than I am. Read. This line right here. Random.
Miranda. My woman gets me blues show.
38 Racing's here. Good evening. I don't think so. Under the bus. You mean like under in the baggage area, under that in that area that they got a bed down there? Yes, there's a compartment for him to lie down. I'm guessing it's comfortable. Man, I would want to ride down there. It just doesn't sound like fun. No windows or anything. Just bump it down the road. Keep it G-rated. Oh, Mexican Spec's warning me. He's going to give me timeout. Keep it G-rated. What did I say? I said something stupid. I guess I said something stupid. Maybe because I read something somebody else wrote. Oh, no.
Breaking the rules.
Who knew that someone was riding down there? Olive's here. Good evening. Oh, some Australian cross-country bus lines swap drivers at towns about 4 hours apart. One driver takes it from town A to B, meets an oncoming bus, and takes it back down to A. You know, there's a place I used to pull off on the way to driving to Arizona. There's a place in Texas I'd pull off, and it was an old gas station. It was closed. It was a dirt parking lot there, and I'd pull off there and just put my head back, sleep for an hour or two. And the same lot is used by FedEx, and they pull trucks in there. They pull a set of doubles in, and then another truck will come in with a set of doubles. They change the tractors around, and then they both head back home again, but with different trailers. And that spot, every time I go down there, I look down there, and there's always FedEx trailers down there. So they do the same thing with FedEx. The drivers make a short run or a shorter run, and the trailers make the long run. You're like a piece of baggage. You're down there like a piece of baggage. Oh, the luggage are in compartments that are further back. Yeah, well, that would be kind of weird, you know. Like going to to a mall. Felt like I was racing through the comments. Hey, we fixed the camera. Oh, no, you turned the heat off. That's what that blowing noise was. She had the heat on in here.
About it.
Oh, you're cleaning up a spot. I see what you're doing.
I'm just.
You know what we're gonna do? We came up here last night and cleaned for several hours and went home, but we didn't stream. But
we don't get as much done when we're streaming, but it's more.
Yeah,
fun.
I'm sitting here instead of putting tools away.
That's okay. We're streaming.
But and then we shot some short videos, then went home. But I don't remember what I was going to say. Oh, we're trying to get it. Got a lot of little projects in here, trying to get it cleaned up enough we can put my car in and do the window, and then I can start driving my car again. I've got several things. Do the window, get the battery box fixed. I talked to Dallas about that fuel line on the Ford.
What did he say?
We got to replace it with hard line.
What are we talking about?
Remember that fuel line we replaced on the Zephyr?
Oh, well, all we have to do is just put.
You have to bend up a line. You have to bend up. That's right. Even though it's stock Ford stuff, they won't accept it. So okay,
dumb shit.
We will do that.
It's stock Ford. I shouldn't have to change my.
That's what I say. It's stock Ford. We don't have to change it, but they're afraid it's going to rub on something. It's a brand new line that doesn't rub on anything, but that's the rule. So we'll do what the rule says. I asked about steel braided line. He goes, "Oh yeah, you can use the Teflon steel braided line," but he goes, "That probably costs you $50 by the time you buy the fittings." I go, "Yeah." So Straight Bullet says, "I rode in the trunk to sneak into the drive-in movies one time." Oh, wasn't that like standard operating procedure? I knew so many people that did that. Back in the day when the trunks were big enough, you could put 6 people in a trunk. It turns out they're only charging by the carload, so it's all for nothing. Yeah, we did that it was a 59 Pontiac station wagon, and we had people hiding in the back under some sleeping bags, and the same thing, they charged by the carload, so we did that for nothing. Can you imagine that, going to the drive-in movies in a 59 Pontiac station wagon? Man, that was in, geez. One of our fathers was driving. It wasn't my father. It was one of the other fathers. And he was sneaking the kids in. And I was one of the kids. And we pulled up there, and the guy at the gate goes, one? And he goes, yeah, one. And as we pull in, his son comes out. He goes, Dad, you taught us never to lie. He goes, he didn't say one what? He goes, we got one car. Well, it turns out that's what it was one car. So we,
parents just do that
so we were.
to make the kids shut up. 5 minutes is all it is.
Oh, that was probably in about, geez, that was
So
just
the
before,
kids will shut up.
that was before I got my driver's license. That was probably 13, 14. That was probably 1967. So a 59 Pontiac wagon wasn't that old. It's the one that has 59 Pontiac has 4 fins in the back. 4 sharp-ass fins. Don't run into that with on a motorcycle. Kill yourself in the back of a car. Yeah. Well, my brother ran in the back of a 57 Chevy. You know what that looks like? He did it on a bicycle. He ended up in the hospital. They thought he ruptured his spleen. And but he didn't. But he spent a night in the hospital under close observation. Jeez.
That didn't feel good.
Oh, he was about 2 blocks from the house, and he crawled back to the house. He couldn't walk. He was hands and knees. And I was over some girl's house, and he was on his way over there, and he never showed up. So it's like, I don't know where he is. I don't know where he is. Because he's the one that knew the girl. And I was over there, so I ended up talking to her for a while. And I said, I got to go find out what happened to my brother. And when I got home, my parents were gone in the hospital with my brother. And one of the neighbors said, oh, you got to come over here. Parents aren't there. They're in the hospital with your brother. What happened? Oh, he crashed his bicycle. Like, oh, geez. That's why he didn't show up. Oh, you made a space where we had that welder. Now there's a space.
Well, I'm going to put something in there, but right now.
Well, that's good. Tippy Long, we had all-nighter movies once a month, 8 p.m. to sunrise. Oh, man, I never went to anything like that.
Oh, I remember the movie marathons. The movies got weird as it got later at night, though.
The drive-in, man, I don't know. I kind of miss the drive-in. I don't know if I'd ever go now. It's pretty funny. It was a thing when we were young. My parents, they were smart. They didn't want to take us to a theater. They'd take us 56 Ford wagon. They put the deck down in the back and some pillows and some blankets and stuff. And my parents would sit up front, and then the 3 kids would have their chins on their pillows on the back of the front seat watching a movie. And they make sure the first movie was something the kids could see. And then we'd go to sleep in the back of the car, and my parents would watch the second movie. And I'd usually wake up on the way home.
Did you go to the concession stand, or did you?
Oh yeah, we go to the concession stand, but we weren't allowed to buy much.
No.
No, my parents are really.
Ice cream or something at the concession stand, something small.
They were tightwads. No, I know why.
Had a bunch of kids.
I know why we went to the concession stand. That's where the bathrooms were.
Well, yeah.
But we never bought anything to eat there.
Nothing.
Never.
Well, see, we would save our money, and we'd have a couple dollars. We could buy a snack at the concession stand.
I suspect if a kid crashes his bicycle, he ain't getting a driver's license. He was going downhill. He's trying to go to where I am. He's in a hurry. He's going downhill, and he said there was a kid chasing him. So he's looking back, and he was going to go. There was a 57 Chevy wagon, station wagon parked there, and he was going to go around it. And he's looking back, and when he looked forward, he wasn't over far enough, and he hit the fin. That fin went right into the middle of his gut, and that was the end of the ride. Oh, it's funny now. It wasn't funny then. My brother was in the hospital when he was 3 because he had his tonsils out. He was in hospital when he was 6 because he had a hernia. He was in the hospital when he was 9 because of the bicycle crash. And my mother said that if he got through his 12th year, 3, 6, 9, 12, if he get through his 12th year without being in the hospital, she'd give him $100. And you know what? He got $100, which is a lot of money back then. Oh, man. It's harder to smack your kids in the theater. Too many witnesses. I love going to the AMC theaters every Friday night with my friends. I don't think I've ever been in an AMC theater. I may have been in one once. I took some. There were years ago, like when I was in my 20s. My first wife, we used to babysit these 3 little girls, and they were like, I don't know, like 3, 4 years old, maybe 4 years old. Then the older ones were like 6 and 7. So we took them to the theater, and they wanted stuff. We got them popcorn and drinks. And the littlest one, who was just one of these kids that just can't sit still, she had her drink, and she stood up. Well, the seat folded up. Well, then she went to sit down, and she started to fall, so she grabbed the seat in front of her, and she dumped like a large icy Coke down the back of the guy sitting in front of us. And I'm like, oh, no. Just like, how could this happen? And the guy was really good about it. He goes, that's all right. Accidents happen. Don't worry about it. He sat there and watched that movie with all that ice and Coca-Cola down his back. I felt so bad for that guy. Oh, man. Yeah, they were frugal. My parents were frugal. That's right.
That's true.
Well, I think when they were young, I don't think they really had a lot of money.
No, your dad was in school.
My dad, well, he taught at a college, but he wasn't a professor yet. He was an instructor. So the money probably wasn't quite as good. They bought a house, and they're making house payments. They bought a car, so they're making car payments. And they bought food for us. We never went out to eat. Oh, maybe once or twice the whole time I was a kid we went out to eat. But, yeah, they were frugal, probably because they had to be. Now, later, after I was in the military and left, and my brother had moved away and my sister moved away, my father was a full professor, and, they were living by themselves. I remember he bought a new car. He paid cash for it. It was like, wow, So I'm sure they were doing better after that. And they moved into a nicer house and stuff. But, they earned it. My father, I don't ever remember him. I don't think he was ever unemployed from the time he was probably 10 years old. He had a paper out in New York City and sold newspapers on the street and had jobs, went in the Navy when he was 17. I don't think he was ever unemployed until he retired. He stayed with it. He says, I tried to watch the Jungle Book on VHS because very cool, that movie. Huh. Yeah, you like movies, don't you? You're always
got a new favorite movie.
38 Races. Our fairgrounds were right across. Keeps making a bunch of noise. I'll wait till the noise stops. Okay, because it covers the mic. It says here, 38 Racing. Our fairgrounds were right across from the drive-in. The guy would go in the drive-in and key up the CB mic, and we'd park on the grounds and listen to the CB. And then you could see the movie. Later on, at that same drive-in that I used to go to when I was a kid, the speakers were all breaking down and everything. And you know what they did? They put it out over the AM radio, like at 540 or some frequency that was right near the end. So you could park outside, and it was at a real strange angle, but you could sit there on the road and watch a movie. But then the police would come along every so often, chase everybody away. But I did that once or twice to do it.
I mean, it wasn't that expensive to see the movie. So.
Yeah.
I think it was more of a...
Did your brother have bicycle insurance? Oh my God. I'm sure my parents had medical insurance that was like for catastrophic stuff. I know they paid the doctor. They always paid the doctor. But if somebody was in the hospital, I know they had insurance. It was Not like today where it covers everything, or doesn't cover anything. Uh,
One or the other.
yeah, I saw Jaws from a field. It says hit you long.
Oh, I
And
remember
ambient
watching
audio
Jaws.
and ambient audio from cars.
Jaws was awesome movie.
My question would be, why did the girl have a drink in her hand? Well, because I bought the kids popcorn and, you know, whatever they wanted to drink. And so she had a icy drink in her hand. And the mistake was she stood up and she didn't understand that the seat folded up. So when she tried to sit down, the seat wasn't there. She's going to fall on her ass. So she grabbed the seat in front of her, and then, the accident continued. Oh, man. It was like, I couldn't do anything fast enough. Andrew Button, my father worked at college as well. He had to save up money for a heater core for the 63 Impala we had. We had nothing as well. I wouldn't say we had nothing, but my parents took care of us, but there wasn't extra stuff. I remember later on, when I was older, we had this hard as rocks tile in the house, and they had carpet put in. And I remember that was a big deal. They had carpet put in the house.
Oh, when I was a kid, the house we lived in, it was an old house. It was my parents had worked on it from the time before I was born, right? The carpet was that old looped down carpet from the 50s. And my mom was very good about keeping it clean. She vacuumed, but there was holes, big holes like this on the traffic areas where you walked. There was holes worn through the carpet all the way down to the burlap of the base of the carpet. My mom still vacuumed that carpet and kept it clean. But that when we finally got carpet, that was like a big deal. Because we had been living in that house with that worn out floors and everything.
Stray Bullet says, Depression era folks? Yep. Depression era folks lived in New York City. My father lived in Florida, but his mother died when he was 2. So his father had lost his job, took the kids, big long story there, but ended up in New York City because he got a job there. And so my parents both grew up in New York City. And my mother's father kept chickens in the basement, which they were allowed to do then. And so they ate chickens and they had eggs. And that's Depression era stuff. Let's see, Andrew Button. Oh, yeah, I already read that. Agreed. Stray hat that my grandpa's gen was so different than my folks. Danny Boyd comes in and says, I'm drunk. He says, woot, woot, I'm drunk. Stray Bullet says, I always said I wanted to become a billionaire, just like my uncle. That's why we're doing YouTube.
To become billionaires.
And yeah, we're doing well. I think we made $73 this month. We're getting there. We're getting there.
I mean, it all starts with the...
Let's see, Buddy Carfano, need a good job to buy a house and a car in 2025. Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Danny Boyd had porno drive-ins in Ohio in the 80s. Me and my girlfriend went. That must have been interesting. Anyone remember Kmart Ices? Yeah, of course. Kim and I last night were just talking about Kmart. We were just talking.
I like the Sheetz Ices best.
The Sheetz Ices?
Yeah.
Oh, Sheetz is a northeastern U.S.
Sheetz is a newer thing than a Kmart.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, Mexican Spec says, I'm taking off to burn. I hope you're burning trash or sticks or something, not burning you. Adios, he says. Good evening. Thanks for being here.
Good night. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, Kmart subs I've heard about. Don't ever remember eating one. I remember eating those. Kmart was before Walmart. It was a pretty good place, but Kim and I were talking about that in Northeast Ohio. They put in a new Kmart just before I moved away, and that was in 06. And it was like a Walmart. It was like a super Walmart with groceries and everything, and it was great. And I went up there, and the place is all closed and boarded up. It's like, how could they? It was so new and so nice. How did they do that? You know? Yeah, buenas noches. Everybody's saying good evening or good night to Mexican Spec in Spanish. Adios, buenas noches. Or in Russian, Spodonia noche. Oh, what's that word? Mexican spec. Some kind of Spanish. I don't know what that is. Hippie long. I grew up in a house built in 1780. It has 2-foot beams.
Hold on.
Yeah, when I lived in South Dakota when I was a kid, we lived there for about a year and a half, and the house, it was built over a basement, but the basement was just dirt. It was just cut out dirt, and there was a furnace down there and water heater. Yeah, but the beams were hand cut beams. That place was built in 1879, and you could see those beams are just carved out. Mexican spec says $73 buys a lot of food here. Man, yeah, $73 in the local store up here. You know, didn't get us a lot.
That's a couple weeks worth of groceries.
$73 at Food Lion? Maybe a week.
A week and a half, but
yeah, it depends how frugal you are.
Yeah, it depends on how much stuff we already have.
Yeah, well, when you already have stuff, then it lasts a week and a half. Andrew Buck says later in the 70s we bought everything from Kmart when we could. Yeah, and then the Walmart came around. Yeah. Oh, it says Sheetz is like PA specifically. Yeah. Well, Sheetz was in PA. Sheetz was in the very eastern part of Ohio. They were in Maryland where I live. I don't know if there were any in Virginia. They could have been. It's kind of that area of the world. What's the other one that's like Sheetz, Kim? There's two of them up there. Very competitive. Have sandwiches and.
Get Go?
No.
Well, there's Get
We
Go.
went to one when we were up there in oh, Zach Kohler's here. I missed you. Sorry. Yeah, good evening.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan.
That crazy bastard was never a billionaire or even a millionaire. I never became one either. The horse ride. Remember the horse ride in front of Kmart? His buddy Carpano. Yeah, we were talking about that too. We were coming out of the grocery store. I was looking for one of those horse rides. I said, remember one of those? I said, I said to Kim, I said, if there's a horse ride out here, I'd put a quarter in it so you could ride the horse. Can you imagine Kim on a
they can imagine
horse ride in front of the grocery store?
Let's keep it G-rated.
Yeah, they're in Ohio too.
Ride the pony.
It's like Missouri thing when they open a new Sheetz. Buc-ee's. Yeah, I don't like Buc-ee's as much. Junior Trucks. What is the other one that's up there by Sheetz? Is no. Ah. Did you have indoor plumbing? You know, that house in South Dakota had indoor plumbing because somebody put it in after. And they wired the place. The electricity was put in after. And they put in single-strand telephone wire to all the sockets and lights and everything. And they had the old screw-in fuses, and they had 35-amp fuses in it. You know, that house would have burned down before one of those fuses ever popped.
Did you ever live in a house that had knob and tube wiring?
No, but I had a girlfriend that lived in one, and she goes, I got an electrical problem. Can you look up in my attic? And I went up there, and I saw that, and I went, call an electrician.
When remember I went with Felina out to Portland?
Yeah.
When she got that house, there was still knob and tube in the attic. We had to take it out.
Oh, God. You did that. Andrew Button, Buck, did you ever?
No, she paid somebody else to do the electrical. But yeah, it was knob and tube. And it wasn't like run like through, it was like strung like a Christmas tree in the rafters. It was crazy. I was like, wow.
Andrew Button says, did you ever shop at Gamble's? They had shotguns and shovels and stuff like that. Yeah. I think didn't they also have washers and dryers? I think my parents bought a washing machine at Gamble's.
Gamble's or was it Gimbals?
No, it was Gamble's. It was a place that was in South Dakota. That's a Midwest thing. Gamble's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I went to Gamble's a lot when I was in South Dakota.
Derek Edwards, I didn't.
Yeah, Derek Edwards. I just saw you there.
Street, I didn't see it. Zach, I didn't say hello to you as well.
Mrs. One-Eyed
Cat. Hey, Miss One-Eyed Cat. How you doing, Wendy?
Kroger's. Oh, Kroger's is here. They're all over in
38 Racing. Ray, welcome to the stream. Sorry, guys, I was
taking over. What's the other one? Wawa. That's it. Hippie Long got it. 2 points, man. Hit me on Wawa.
Oh, Wawa's out
Yeah,
east.
yeah, Sheets and Wawa, I think, are very
Sheets is
competitive.
Wawa's way out east.
Well, but there, like in Maryland, there was Wawas on the corner,
In
and there
Maryland,
was
yeah.
Sheets on the corner,
Yeah,
and they were all
Maryland isn't even in
very
Pennsylvania.
competitive. Oh, Come and Go, isn't that crazy? I couldn't believe the first time I saw Come and Go. That's Iowa. I saw one of those in Iowa, and it was like, you got that on a sign?
Danny Boyd, they cheated you out of 10 cents a gallon. How will you ever financially recover from this? Gamble's had car models too. Oh yeah.
You know
I
what?
remember when Kmart
You
used
know
to have
what?
models in the back.
That's where I bought. That's where I bought my Chrysler Turbine car. My first Chrysler Turbine car in 1965. The model car was in Gamble's.
Hey, guess what you need to do?
What's that?
You gotta bring your car in here.
Oh, now?
Yeah.
I got to go to the house first.
Okay.
Cooch. The key.
Where are they? I'll get the key because I wanna drink.
You know where that that lamp or whatever it is that I hang my Jeep keys on?
Yeah.
It's there, and it's on a lanyard that says Blue Angels. Like my sweatshirt, but this is the wrong sweatshirt.
Well, can you guys keep him
You gonna keep me in
while I'm
line?
gone? Keep it together for him?
Danny Boyd, he's drunk. I always take a Wawa when I take a Sheets. I know a guy that used to fly airplanes all over the
I'll be
place.
back in a few minutes.
He flew ultralights all over the place and took pictures, and he had a slideshow he'd show at air shows. It was pretty good. But I was working with him up in Pennsylvania, he was fixing his ultralight at a place where I lived. And he'd go to, there was a Sheets real close, and I'd never heard of Sheets because I just moved there. And he went over and he'd come back, he goes, I was eating at Sheets, but I always get the Sheets. Oh, Come and Go are being replaced by Maverick. See, last time I drove out to Oregon, there were Mavericks all over the place. And I'd never seen Mavericks. Huh. Tim says it's 1923, knob and tube. Wow. Andrew Button, we had a coal stove in the 50s. I ran coal in my wood stove in the shop in Ohio some, but it was really messy and clinkers and it was messy. But it was easier to get coal. I could go buy bags of coal cheaper than I could the wood. But I used to buy wood too. 1950 Chevrolet. What? You like 50 Chevrolets? Andrew Button, the Chrysler Turbine car was by Johann Models. They had Chrysler contracts. I remember those. You know what? When we moved to South Dakota, we went out like I-80 and then went north from somewhere in very eastern part of Nebraska. And my dad pulled off, went to a gas station. There was a shopping center there, and a Chrysler Turbine car drove through. And I was like, what's that? I never seen one, never heard of it, anything. I thought somebody had customized a Thunderbird, like a 64 Thunderbird or something. I go, Dad, follow that car. He was finished putting gas in. I go, follow that car, follow that car. He goes, no, I'm not following a car. I go, I want to see what it is. But I like photographic memory, you know? So then I was in Gamble's in Brookings, South Dakota. Like a couple months later, I'm walking through looking at the car models, and I saw a Chrysler Turbine car. And it was molded in the same color the real cars were. And man, I saw that. It's like I knew exactly what it was. That's what that was. So I bought one. I'd saved my quarters, you know. So I bought one. I think it was a $2 model in 1965. And I built that thing. And then later on, I bought several of them. And I built another one. And then later, I sold them all. Many years later, I sold them on eBay. Probably should have kept at least one of them. Let's see here. I would have had it done already. What's that? Would have had it done already. What, my car? Stray Bullet. We have lots of pilots here. Yeah, like pilot gas stations. Yeah, there's pilots all over the place. Danny Boyd, I have eradicated knob and tube from my house. Oh, that looks scary. Danny Boyd, I have never felt a single cycle of current. 38 Racing, we have the come and go stores here too. I always thought that was a bachelor's night. Jeez. The first time I saw that, I remember where I was. I was in Iowa and I pulled off to get gas, and it's like, it was a double take. What? Okay, I understand sort of what it says, but I can't believe they put that there. But then that area of the world, I saw a lot of them. Uh, Danny Boyd, I don't think I ever saw a Chrysler driven car in the wild in its day. I did once. Once. In fact, yeah, I got, many years later, I met a guy, and his father had been a car dealer and had one of those Chrysler Turban cars for 6 months, and it was in the same area of the world in Nebraska where I'd seen it, and we kind of think that I saw the car his dad had. Yeah, they were all copper color. You saw one in Nevada. I've seen two of them in museums. Ah, gracias.
Been like 7 years and I still have the damn splinters. Where do you have those from?
Oh, he was taking those. Oh, we got ads. He's taking those. Oh, it's strange wiring you were talking about. Bare wires. I thought of eradicating him from his house. I was fortunate enough to bought my house for $2,500. I had to move it, but it was cheap. What it cost to move it? Oh my God, we have a gas station here called Stinker, as well as Come and Go. That's Andrew Butt. Man, Stinker. I've never heard of that.
I worked for a plumber,
Luis is saying good night. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I want to say good night before he's gone.
and he had a septic pumping business truck. It was a great big truck with a vacuum tank on the back of it, and there was a big Pepe Le Pew skunk painted on it. It was silly.
Danny Boyd says we're all turbans that bronze color. All of them went out in the public were that bronze color. I believe there was one that was white or like an off-white or something, a prototype or something. I saw one in the factory where they'd gotten the car from, they built the cars in Europe and they brought them to the U.S. and then they put the engines and all the running gear in them. And there's a picture online that's, I believe it's white, and it's the first one they had. They were putting the engine in it, but I don't think it ever went out into the public. So all of them out in the public were bronze color. Remember 1970s when you drive past the gas station and could smell the gas all the way out in the street. I remember gas used to smell good back in the late 60s. And then in 1970, I started working at a gas station, and that's when they started changing the formulas. It was before the unleaded gas, but they started putting something in it, made it really stink. It really smelled awful. And then the unleaded came around, and it smelled a little bit better. And now it's all completely different. The additives are completely different. Okay, you're going to take over while I guess we could tip the camera that direction. And
Okay.
I'll go out there and try to start the car. Car hasn't been started in
probably 3 weeks.
Oh, it's longer than that.
Wow, the time flies.
That car hasn't been started in, I bet, 2 months.
If it doesn't want to start, we probably won't.
We'll just stop. we won't stop. We just won't start. Okay.
I don't know. I got a battery.
When you hear me,
jump it.
When you hear me, is it cleared up outside?
Take a look. I think you'll have plenty of
room to drive in. Okay. I am going to go try to start what is that Ford? Mercury Zephyr.
I'm not going to open the door until I hear you running. Okay.
Oh, it smelled sweet like candy back then. I still miss those days. Sunoco 260 at the pump. Yeah, you had Sunoco back east, and out west we had Chevron White Pump, which I think was 104 octane. They advertised as 104 octane.
What's Sunoco 260?
That's a very high octane fuel that was in the gas pumps.
Oh,
It was like a step higher than premium, and it was like in the late '60s. And man, they vent the gas tanks at gas stations differently. Yeah, they got a it's an EPA thing. Okay. Ooh, I'm a little bit not walking straight.
well, you've been sitting there for
I've
an
been
hour and a
sitting
half.
too long.
Gas
Okay.
used to smell like victory. That's right, Hippie Long. That's how you win
Yeah, the
wars.
two good ones
That
were
gas.
Sunoco 260 and Chevron White Pump. Man,
Huh.
those were the days.
It smelled like rock candy back then. I miss those days. Ma still has the toolbox and tools. 50 years ago, there was a Sunoco 260 sticker. That's awesome. Unleaded will still skunk an early cat. Yikes. We're having a good time. We look how good it is. It's so much cleaner in here. Okay, it's not clean at all, but all the piles have been pushed out to the edges, so we should be able to fit his car in here with no problem. I worked at Arco in '76 when graphite oil came out. Oh, I used to have some of those Arco '76 graphite oil cans, the cans, and then the spout that jammed in there like a can opener. I wish I still had those things. All that stuff is gone with my house. That's how it goes, though. Easy come, easy go. Wish it had been easier. Landon Custom Classics. Howdy. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. What you been working on lately? I saw you'd work on some stuff on a dart for a while. I saw you doing something different, Ray. I can't remember. Oh, I hear him cranking. Pump the gas. There's no choke. Should go now. Maybe I should take some. American became Amico. Okay. Well, we know the battery's not dead. Pump the gas a couple times. Uh-oh. Working mostly. Well, it's make hay while the sun is shining season. Something's wrong. The man rarely had to pay for any gasoline because he drove fuel trucks. Yeah, that's cool, straight bullet. They all got bills though. Oh, what's flying around? That's funny, Kim, rationalizing not really cleaning the shop. I mean, we cleaned a lot, but like there got to be a point where it's like, just get the car in here. It's been a month. Hasn't run, haven't. All it needs is a window and he can get back to driving his car. Although he's got a laundry list of stuff he wants to do to it. It's not going though. I don't even have anything good and flammable to spray on it. Starting fluid, like we ought to. I'm gonna ask him if he needs something. Do you need anything? How come? Okay, I'll bring the hammer. Not so good. It's not going so good. You want me to bring you a hammer?
And Kim's back for a moment. If anybody's still here.
Everything is fine. Everything.
Oh, our camera's going nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, we left and the camera went all ape shit. You know what? There's 4 more people in here than when we left.
Yeah, they like it better when we're not here.
They like it better when we're not here. Oh, man. They don't have to listen to me chattering. Okay, so let's see what happened. I went out there and cranking it. You pump the gas, crank. But, you know, by then the carburetor's empty. So I cranked enough that the carburetor filled up. And it stumbled just a little bit, so I knew there was gas up there. So I gave it about 4 shots of gas. It started right up and it quit. So I gave it 4 more shots of gas and I turned it and no power. So there's a bad connection up there and Kim's going to go out there and fix a bad connection. I said, don't start the car. Let me go out there and start my car. So she's fixing the connection at the battery. No, the starter's not stuck. Josh Holman, good evening. See who else came in while I was gone. We have a stream and we gain participants while we're not here. That's amazing. Tim says I took a nap. Patrick Sullivan. Oh, Mr. Roboto. Yeah, I remember that. 38 Racing. You guys shop looks worlds better than mine. I need to get this truck mobile so I can clean. Man, this place was looking bad because we tore that whole Spitfire apart, took the body off the chassis and straightened the frame, and there was just crap everywhere. It was all rusty, nasty stuff, and now it's dragged outside. So messes out there. But at least it's in one heap. And then we swept it up. It really looked good, you know. And then what happened was Kim started working on little projects. So we had 2 different mini bikes and the intake manifold she's making, and I don't know, there was other stuff. So she gets tools out, and I put tools away. So it was really getting ahead of me. But last night we came up here in at least 2 hours, probably 3 hours, just putting stuff away, and not nearly enough. There's still stuff out. And then she was working on it tonight, and I guess she thinks we can pull my car in here enough that we can put the window in it. So that'll be good, man. I get the window in it. I bought 2 new headlights because I got 2 burned out headlights. So I'll put the headlights in it. Then I got a car I can drive again. What'd you do?
I took the terminal off.
Oh, you took the terminal
The
off.
wire. When I wiggled the wire, the lights got brighter and dimmer.
It's one of those bolt-on wire things.
Yeah.
Those are shitty.
You guys know. Well, it's damp out there, and it was a little corroded. You haven't used the car. There you go.
See those stupid things? I hate those things. You know what I do with those? I solder the wire on.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
And they're lead, so that just all melts into one piece. And then I put shrink tubing over them, and they really are nice.
They work for a little while.
But that's what I'll do.
They're not so good.
It's another thing to put on the list while it's in here. Fix a battery cable.
Yeah.
Because someday you know what'll happen. It'll be a rainy night. We'll be somewhere in the middle of
it'll
somewhere.
definitely be in the rain.
I'll stop to get gas, and the gas station will be closed, and I won't be able to get gas, and I'll go to start it.
Look how cruddy it is.
Yeah. Look at this.
We should make a short.
Okay, a short.
Yep.
What am I gonna say? Oh, I'm reading the chat too. Oh, Andrew Button, I sold my 55 DeVille and got my shop space back. Yeah, 55 DeVille is going to be a shop space hog, but probably a nice car.
I hope you made some decent money for it. It's hard letting go of old things, but sometimes you just have to.
Okay, what are we going to do? We're going to move that thing over here?
Yeah.
Why are you putting white paper so people can see
it? So you could see it, yeah.
She gets into the...
Presentation is important.
Oh, the temporary battery clamp that stays forever. Yeah, it stays forever, but it's...
Yeah, that's right. Anything else you guys in chat want to say about the temporary battery clamp?
Okay, I'm gonna do a.
Just tell them when it's green or when you wiggle it.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Tell them. Okay. Remember to say about the. Okay.
I know what I'm saying. She always tells me what to say. You gotta say this, and it's like what I always say.
Say whatever you say.
My voice is all messed
Okay,
up.
guys, sorry about the interruption.
You know what I need? I need
Get a
to
little drink.
drink something so my voice isn't ruined.
Thanks everyone for being here.
Danny Boy, what you drinking? I bet you that'd clear my voice up.
If something good happens, it's content. If something bad happens, it's content.
Here it is. It's content. You get to see me make a short. Done with the freaking rain and more coming. And yeah, we got nothing but rain coming. As far out as we look right now, it's raining. I'm tired of it.
It's fine.
Can't even believe they make a piece of junk like this. This is going to be hard because this hand's shaking.
Just talk about it.
Okay, I'm ready.
Go.
Well, Del Campo here. Went out to start my Mercury, the Z sled tonight, and it cranked, got gas up the carburetor, and then it wouldn't crank anymore. Well, guess what? You know, the battery cable is hooked to this piece of crap. Can I say crap on here? Anyway, it's all corroded, so we got to take this and clean it up and make it so that there's a good connection in there. I don't know if you can clean that, but what I'll eventually do is I'll just solder the wire in there and put shrink tubing on it, make a nice connection out of it. These things are yeah, you got to clean them up.
37 seconds. I think that was good.
Okay, let's see what it looks like.
I'm gonna hit this with the wire brush.
Diva on the short. Diva on the short production. Okay, let me see. Well, Kim's cleaning that. Be careful if you're going to do that on a machine.
I'm just doing the steel, not the lead.
Okay, it recorded. We're good. There's another short I want to do because somebody suggested it. Something I want to do with ratchets, so I may do that while we're on here too. Sam Spallman. What's IVR? Danny Boyd, if you're a minute in, just say shit. It's an endless circle of garage space. Josh Holman, people say much worse things than that. Yeah, I know. That's why I just got to be careful because, man, I did. Every once in a while, I get nervous about when I did. I did a short with me sitting there at my son's house with a shotgun. It's an empty shotgun, and it was just like something funny. And I had a non-alcoholic beer I was drinking because I just can't drink alcohol. With all the medical problems I got, I don't get drunk. I just feel sick. So it just does. I guess I had my life's allotment of alcohol. So I'm sitting there with a non-alcoholic beer and a shotgun that my son handed me to look at, and I'm looking at it. And then I said to Kim, "Hey, we got a short here, you know." So, I do this stupid thing about being in Tennessee and having a shotgun and a beer, I'm still a little concerned with that one. Somebody will think I'm drinking real beer. A drunk with a shotgun in his hand. I don't know. But
America.
So you see, it's actually we're back further. My son, when he was I don't know, he was in the Army, so he went in the Army when he was 18, so he was probably 19, 20, something like that, maybe 21. On his birthday, I said, "Well, I want to take you out and buy you something for your birthday. I want to get you something you want." And I don't know what to get you. He goes, "I want a shotgun." And he kind of laughed. And I said, "I'll buy you a shotgun." And so we went out to gun shops looking at shotguns. So I don't know, about the third gun shop, he goes, "Dad, I don't really want the shotgun. I want this." And he picked up some other handgun or something. I said, "Get whatever gun you want. I'll just buy you a gun. I don't care." So we bought it. And that was his birthday present. Well, the next year I said, "You know what we're going to do? We're going to go out this year. We're going to buy you the shotgun." And okay. Well, then the same thing happened. He picked out something else. We bought it. We did that like 7 or 8 years in a row. And we got to like the 8th year and he bought the shotgun. And we never went out and bought another gun. So we were talking about that. So he went upstairs, comes down, and he goes, "This is the shotgun that we bought that time." So it looks brand new. He's probably fired it a couple of times. You know, he's Special Forces Army guy, so he really likes guns, and he knows about every kind of firearm there is, like everything every other country has. He's probably taken them apart and fixed them and everything else. Let's see. Straight little. I wish that it would rain a little more here in the summer. Yeah.
When it stops here, that'll be it. It won't rain anymore.
It just. Oh, I see. I'll get to it here. I use Tyco Aircraft certified crimps on all my stuff. It's Andrew Button. And then Sam Spallman. Now I get it. Ohm's law, V equals V over IR. Yeah, okay, I understand that now. I didn't. I saw that. I was like, what is that?
Boy, you could tell there's resistance in here. You could see all the
Get resistance. I don't see any place that any electricity even flow through that thing.
It was melting, corroding.
I need a spittoon. A spittoon. Why? I have some walking crimps. And what I did one of these not long ago. I did it on the Valiant. I took one of those and I soldered the cable in there.
That's
and then I put the clamp on it, so it looks like a clamp on one. And then maybe I didn't put the clamp on it.
People don't understand why this is temporary.
But then I put shrink tubing over it, big fat shrink tubing, and man, it made a really nice thing for what did I do that on? I can't remember which car I did that on. That may have been Kim's Dart. I don't know. I remember doing that. It wasn't that long ago, so I know it wasn't the Valiant. Buff, if you do ratchets, explain why we need fine tooth ratchet and to switch drive size, not to overload your ratchet. I like the fine tooth one, especially like on a 1/4 inch drive. In fact, that's where I really like them. Is on the 1/4 inch drive. I like them, and I have older Snap-on 1/4 inch drive ratchets that I've had forever, and they're way too coarse. They're almost not usable if you're down in somewhere. But the fine ones are pretty nice. But yeah, you could probably overload one. The thing I was going to do, I've got a ratchet in there that's really different, and somebody mentioned one of those ratchets in a comment on the last short I did, and I have one. It's a really oddball ratchet, and I happen to have one. So I was going to do a little short on it about it. So it was a World War II era small, tiny little ratchet. Started putting 10-inch square patio blocks under my Demon yesterday. It was 85 degrees. Great. Rain for the next few days. Yeah, Tim, you live in one of those areas in the country. He's in Colorado, up where it's high elevation. Backside of the Rocky Mountains. Yeah. Classified stuff. No, not classified stuff. Classified stuff. I'm not sure what I was talking about. Firearms are tools. They are. Stray Bullet, what's your son's? I don't know what that is. I once shot the antenna off an old TV with a 22 rifle when I was a kid. Oh my God. My son's about to retire. He's been in 25 years, and he's been going to school the whole time. So he's going to have his doctor's degree, doctorate in education, and between being in special forces and speaking at least 2 different languages and some other things, he's got a teaching job set up. So he's going to do well, and I'm glad to see that, because he was enlisted, so he's an E9, whatever that is, in the Army. I was Air Force. I was Chief Master Sergeant for us, so that was a Sergeant Major. I think that's what that is in the Army. So he's been a Sergeant Major for a while, and but now he's got a good education. So not that Special Forces isn't a good education by itself, but he's actually got college degrees. So 38 Racing. Yeah, it's a 5/16. I thought it was 5/32. Shipley. Let's see, I'm not sure. Probably couldn't sit for a week after. What was this, John? I missed something. What did I miss? What did I miss? That will settle those papers. Yeah, they'll squish right in. Probably couldn't sit for a week after that. Soak them snap-on ratchets in ATF. They'll be a lot more willing to click. You know what I use in them? I use just any penetrating oil. But then I got a friend in Massachusetts, and he's actually a year older than me, but we hung around together when we were kids. But then they moved to Massachusetts, and I moved all over the place. But we stayed in contact all these years. And he was a Snap-on man for years, had a route and everything. Well, he's retired now, and he still works, but he does some other things. But anyway, he's still got all these kits and stuff. So once in a while, like I'll get a new ratchet, new to me, a used Snap-on ratchet, and he'll send me a kit for it, send me all the little parts and everything, and I'll rebuild the ratchets, which is pretty cool. I think I just saw a mouse run by again. That trap's right there. That mouse runs right over that trap and gets in that toolbox. Can't believe he doesn't snap it. Let's see. 38 Racing, some odd square drive. Also have one by Snap-on. Yeah, I think it's 5/32. It's not a. It looks like a 1/4-inch drive, but it's a little bigger than a 1/4-inch drive. Kim gets it in her hand once in a while. What's wrong with this thing? And I've told her that's different. That's not a 1/4-inch. I get it. This is one I got. I got a couple of PPs. Was your father as bold as a sergeant major? Man, my father. You know, it's kind of funny. My grandfather was a private, maybe private first class in the Army, World War I. My father was I don't know Navy rank real well. He was an E5 when he got out. He was in the Navy for 2 years. He got out when he was 19 after the war. I can't even imagine that. Getting out of the military and you're already an E5 and you're 19. Just amazing. So he was in the Navy. Then I was Air Force. And then both my sons were both Army. One of them did 8 years in the Army and the other one did 8 years reserve and did some active duty time, but he was in the Army for 8 years. And the other one was still in. I guess she wants me to go out there.
Yeah, you got headlights now?
Yeah, that makes a difference.
Go ahead and
Here's your radio.
Yeah.
Where's the light? The light is here. Okay, the key is still in it, I assume.
The key is still in it. I didn't even try it, but
okay, I'll try to drive up here. I've been telling war stories and stuff.
War stories. Okay. Busted down right for fighting. No fighting in the army. That's right, Olive. This is a non-violent army. Well, that's the thing, though. You got to understand, people in the service, they more than fighting, they need to have discipline. So you have to know when and where and who. Sometimes there's good reason to be fighting, though. I know. Let's wish him luck. I'm going to listen. I'm listening. Hopefully it goes. Boy, I hope it goes. There it goes. I heard it. It kicked too. It's got fuel in it now. There. Oh, not quite. It's running. Oh. Oh, it's being real feisty, but I hear it go. It's cold from sitting so much, and it's damp out there. He's got it running now. Woo. I heard it. Awesome.
It's kind of cold and wet out here. I gotta let it warm up for a couple minutes before it'll move. Try to put it in gear real quick.
Sounds good. I'm just catching up with the chat. Yeah, you're supposed to be fighting the enemy, but you know, sometimes the enemy is one of your own. They wouldn't let me join. That was back. They only wanted certain kinds of people. Idle it to the garage. Well, he's got to turn it around. College dorms had women. Army dorms mostly did. Oh, we had to put the hood down. It's running now, though, and he cranked it a little bit, so the battery is fixed for now. That's good. I thought college dorms were divided up so that the women were in one dorm and the men were in a different. Otherwise, all the girls end up pregnant. Hey, Kevin, it is a little late. We're cleanup crew. We start when everyone is finishing. Why do Buff and Kim keep disappearing? We're working on the car. See, the whole last week of what we've been doing here in the shop was depends on the college. Yeah, depends on the women. Not really, though. Men of that age are not particularly picky sometimes. I figured my dad told me not to enlist because he thought I was a wimp, but now I think it's because he knew what a drunk and a stoner I was as a kid. Oh, yeah, that could have been problems. I don't know. Some people get straightened out in the military, other people, which they just get in trouble. Tim gets 2 points for a local car dealer ad. Tell us the name of the car dealership. Next time I expect you to get it. I want the brand name. Is it Honest Ed's Used Cars? With the military in the 80s, the dorms were more co-ed. Kevin, I'm late. Well, that's okay. It's fine. Everyone is non-binary now, Kim? That's right. Destroying gender. It wasn't supposed to matter anyways. Right? Alright. I'm going to turn you guys so you can see the garage. We'll bring them in. That's good.
Man, this thing is covered with sticks and tree poop. And, geez.
Tree poop, yeah. Look at that.
You know what? The heater works.
That's good.
Yeah, whatever. What is that stuff? That's what I call tree poop. Stuff
Well,
that falls out of the trees.
These are little springy pollinator things, and then this is moss from the trees. There is moonlight and moss in the trees. Grows in the trees and then falls. Or no, it's lichens. The moss.
So,
I don't know. It grows on the tree.
you want to drag your chair over there?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought we were trying to leave enough room to get that door open, but it looks like there's enough room to get that door open anyway, even with room over here.
Yeah. We're gonna have room to stream.
So when I leaned on the horn out there, you know, it's a button up on a stalk, and I went like this. I just went, like I was just gonna go, like real quick.
Yeah. And
But the button stuck in.
Did a long beep.
Yeah, the button stayed in, so I had to grab it and pull it back out. I didn't want to lean on the horn like that.
Well, it's fine.
It was meant to be a little short beep.
It wasn't that loud.
Oh, but it was.
Sorry, guys.
Impolite to just lean on the horn like that.
Beep and the horn. I figured you'd come on the radio. I was surprised.
Oh, I didn't even think of the radio.
It's fine.
Okay, now we got. You're moving everything around. She's moving all the screens, and let's see here. Let's see, hippie long, straight people learn bad habits from the military in old days. Drink on base at 17. Cigarette breaks. It's the only time I was ever happy to see anybody smoke cigarettes. It was about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks into basic training, when we were busy, marching all over, and the parade rest, they had to stop, you know, we're standing at attention, parade rest. And he goes, Eddie's, light them up. And man, a whole bunch of guys lit up their cigarettes. And I was pretty happy that they got to do that, but I'm not a smoker. But I knew it was quite a reward to be able to do that. That meant we were doing better. But yes, that old Z7 is moving on its own. Oh yeah, once the cable is fixed, it fired right up and ran. Runs good. Power steering works.
Nobody's fussed with it for weeks.
Brakes work well. Heater was working. Power steering works. No squealing from the belts or anything. You know, I miss driving it. I really miss driving it. Stray Bullet says, it's a brand new 81 Mercury. No, it's a brand new 78 Mercury. I have two. I have a 78 Mercury and I have an 80. What is that thing? Futura. Just looks just like this one.
Hippie Long says you need to rewatch your car entrance. It was fabulous. Oh, that's awesome.
I'll go back and watch it.
Yeah.
Well, you noticed I did turn the headlights down because I figured I'd be blinding a camera or something. I call it chocolate or leather brown if I could call the color in person. Yeah, I don't know.
It's a really pretty color in person, but it looks okay on camera. You know what? We put that color filter on, and now the car looks a little better. It brightens the car up a lot.
Stray Bull says the stock horns were always a problem. It was really, I hated them. Every Fairmont I had, it's like, why did they do this? Well, you know what I'll do on this one? When I build the console to put the CB radio and stuff in, maybe I'll put a button down there so I can honk the horn without going, this is stupid, driving on pushing on a stock like that. It'd be nice just to have a momentary toggle switch, beep beep. I don't know. I'll think of something to make it nicer.
One of the reasons why we picked that car as a donor car was because it had some wheels. There were a couple of other possible choices, but the one that we got has kind of cool wheels, although it needs tires. So
yeah, those wheels will go on this car unless something better comes along, but they're pretty nice. I'll pull them off, and when I put tires on this, they'll go on those wheels. In the meantime, I'll use these tires.
I mean, these tires aren't that great,
but I'll run them around for a while.
All right.
All right, what?
These tires are not that great. They're old. They don't have a lot of miles on them, but they're old. You could see.
Yeah, I know. Fastest I've been in this car, though, was like, what, 75 miles an hour coming back from Texas. They felt fine.
If
They
we
didn't
were
feel
going
good.
on a
They didn't
long,
feel good till we put air in them.
if we were going to take it on a long car trip, I would insist new tires before we do that.
We'll do it before no name nationals. How much you buy the Fairmont from you? What, the Fairmont that's out there? No, I gotta ravage it first. That's my parts
You have
car.
to take stuff from it.
I gotta take stuff from it. Then you decide if you want it. And somebody pointed out that it's got a good deck lid on it. Doesn't have a hole from a CB antenna. And I may want to put that back on this car. I guess. I don't know.
We could fill holes in metal.
But then, yeah, I could fix this.
Do a burnout, shop burnout.
With
one tire fryer.
6-cylinder. Yeah, that one's got a good taillight on it. It's got one little error on the taillight, but I think I can fix it. What did you write? Danny Boyd, he did something and retracted it, but I read it and I didn't figure out what he said. So maybe, I don't know what that was. It's a very strange looking word. Kevin Smith, tell me that's T, not P in the bottle. This is water
with cream soda?
With Dad's cream soda powdered mix in it. Yeah. Oh, Danny Boyd wrote Glidden. Oh, okay, because what he wrote wasn't just some strange looking concoction of letters.
The Fairmont. For 500 points for the Fairmont. No, we can't sell the Fairmont.
No, I did not put the grant in the car. I didn't do anything to the car because I was spending time getting a parts car. We spent a lot of money on a parts car. And
I mean, not really, but yeah.
Well, it was a bunch of money.
More than a window.
Okay, a new window was $695. Well, I'm not going to spend almost $700. Well, by the time it's shipped to me, it'll be even more than that for a window. And then I get it. It might be a box full of broken glass. So I was looking for used ones. Well, they're hard to find. Well, then I find this one. This one looks, I think it's okay, but it had wheels on it. It came with a C4 automatic. It came with an 8.8 rear end. You know, it's
got a V8
it's got a
frame.
V8 cross member. You know, the K member is there.
And it's got all the glass, and it's got
it doesn't
doors.
have windshield's broken.
Okay, it's got doors. It's got
a lot.
No
of
interior. The
interior's no good.
It smells really bad too.
But the
steering column, ignition.
It's got a lot of stuff, and the thing's right off. I know I'll want that 8.8 rear end when I V8 this thing later. And
Straight Bullet's bidding for it. He's like, "How about 1,000?"
Hey, for 50 points, you can have a Subaru.
Nobody wants a Subaru. That's why it's so cheap. Once I fix it, everybody will want it.
Oh, says, of course, now, of course, why? I think what she means is, of course, why not put your own CB antenna back there?
It's got a CB antenna on it.
No, the plan is to put the grant in here. It's just I haven't done it because we had to get the parts car, spent a bunch of money. We've had other projects going. We've had Kim's car back in here. We had, what else? Oh, the aluminum car. We did that whole thing with the frame. We got to bring that back in. We had a bunch of little projects. Kim's manifold. There's no shortage of projects. So when I get the window in this thing, which we'll do in the next couple of days, I hope, then there's more recreational stuff I want to do.
Did anybody not see the manifold?
Just a console. I want to do the console.
Here, let me get.
You got to get through there.
At the beginning of the stream, I was showing it. So I've got the
Danny Boy. He's just realizing it's almost 1 o'clock there.
The manifold for the Bronco 2 is all welded up, and I epoxied the seams so there's no leaks, and that's gonna go with this carburetor on the Bronco 2. And then I still have to put there's still a bunch of nuts and bolts to put on the motor, but that will make the Bronco 2 run. That will make the Bronco 2 run. So that's actually finally done. I've been working on that for a week.
And people put the Subaru in a VW bus or bug. No, no, no. The problem with the Subaru is the engine.
Yeah,
we need a VW engine. We need a VW engine to put in the Subaru. That'd make it reliable.
I know. A 95 Subaru and a 68 bus would really make it go because those engines have a lot of power. They're like 160 horsepower or something like that.
So you wish you had a time machine. 1989, half the junkyards in
there
town
was
had
tons
all
of
the
them
class.
cars. Yeah.
Yep.
See, now the thing is if you find a car like this, it's a little bit rare because it's the what is it called, the box top, or this isn't the box? This is or isn't?
It's not a box top.
It's not a box top.
It's a coupe.
And they may. Anyways,
the top's lower. The top's chopped down lower than
the cars that are still around like this that have the glass and everything like that. People want a bunch of money for them, even if they're in really rough shape, or they're the wrong.
I found a door with a good window in it in Chicago.
It was in Chicago.
And that's like what, 450 mile drive.
All day drive.
Okay, so and the guy was a flake. It's like I get a hold of him. It'd be a week before he get back to me. And does it have a good window in it? Well, I don't know. I don't even remember which door it was. I don't know. Maybe I sold it. I don't know. And then he get back to me a week later. Yeah, I didn't sell it. I still have it here. Okay, so where can I meet you? And then no communication. It's like, okay, I'm not driving to Chicago and trying to meet up with this guy. I'll be there for a week just waiting for him to answer his phone or something. So I decided to buy the whole parts car because of the wheels, because the 8.8 rear end was a surprise when I got there. Didn't know it was going to have that. That came out of a 96 or 95 Mustang. When was the last? Maybe it was a 94 Mustang. But anyway, it's an 8.8 rear end. Don't know the ratio. The guy that put it in there was nowhere around. So we'll take it apart. But that's a good rear end. And then, of course, the wheels and the window. And
Ray's got to go to bed. Thanks, Ray. 38 Racing. Glad to have you in here.
Kevin Smith, I'm late because I had to spend time with the warden.
Had to? You wanted to. Yeah. You were enjoying it so much that you had to miss some of the stream.
I know a guy used to call his wife the Marshallista.
Oh, man.
Marshallista.
Kevin, we're glad you made it in. You didn't miss too much, honestly. We're just talking.
What's Al says if it works, paint it wrinkle black. Which is that? If what works?
The rear end?
The rear end?
The Subaru?
Oh, I don't know. The rear end, I'll paint it black we'll take it apart, see if it could be a locker, or a limited slip or whatever Ford called it. We don't know. Yeah, Dallas was with me, and we used his truck, his Suburban, and his trailer to go and get it. Yeah, Dallas Brown. So we're there, and somebody cut the floor out of the trunk. They're going to make a race car out of it. I don't know what they're doing. So anyway, we can see right through the trunk, the rear end. He goes, oh, that's an 8.8. And I go, really? And the old guy that we were buying it from, he says, oh, yeah, my grandson or somebody was going to make a race car out of it, put a rear end out of I don't remember what it was, 94 Mustang, 96 Mustang, something. And so, but he didn't know what ratio or anything. But
I don't know what it would be.
We know the guy put it in there to race it. So it's like, oh, okay. So I got that rear end. I got enough stuff that I feel pretty good. Oh, and the C4 automatic. So, I got enough stuff that I feel good about what we spent on it. But.
Yeah, and we get to put cooler wheels on it. It looks okay. I don't know. It looks a little homely.
What looks homely?
This car compared to the Ford version.
Oh, you like the color scheme and the chrome
and the wheel trim. The way it's actually different. Instead of being on the wheel lip, it rides on the body line, and it looks really sharp. That car looks really nice. But
I was looking on the internet. I found a picture of a car that just when I looked at it, I was like, oh, that looks like the last one. It's kind of a dark blue color. I looked at it. It didn't have any chrome around the wheels. It was a 79 Futura, but it was probably a stripper version because It had the 4-cylinder Pinto and a 4-cylinder or 4-speed manual transmission. It did not have air conditioning. It was not one that was a higher trim level. 8.8 is strong enough to 550 horsepower in the disc. See that the 8.8. Yeah, I plan on putting a V8 in this at some time. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I've got several ideas. Dallas Brown's trying to talk me into building a Ford 289, and I don't know. So anyway, I don't know what I'm going to do. But for this year, I'm running the 6. I'm taking this to No Name Nationals. Dallas already wants to race me in his Buick. He bought that. It's a 78, same year as this Buick with it's a 198 cubic inch V6. Maybe 196. Okay. And this is a 200. So he goes, we ought to race at No Name National. I said, hell yeah, that'll be fun. So I'm going to race Dallas with this, and I'll race you with this. You'll probably beat me. Because you got 225, and you got lower gears, and you got a nice automatic. Well, this is automatic's nice too. But
I have some stuff I'd like to do to the car so it's a little quicker, because it's pretty slow off the line. But I think I might be able to beat you, though. I don't know. I've never driven this car. I don't know how it feels off the line.
Oh. It's okay. You're dark.
They're both better highway cars than drag cars.
Yep. This has like 270 something rear end ratio, and yours has what 345.
It's not that big a difference.
That's a huge difference. That's a huge difference. I don't
know. It's a big slush box of an automatic.
I don't know. So
no white stripe tires.
No white stripe tires. No white stripe tires. No, you know what I'll buy? I'll buy whatever is hand cooks. Hand cook factories here in town. I'm going to support the local people here, and they're 14-inch tires, and there's not a lot of, you don't have a lot of choices. So I'll just get the 14-inch 70 series tires. Fits those wheels.
My mini bike will smoke this year. It will. Yeah, it's going to be fast.
This is 8.8, ain't much less strong than a 9-inch. Oh man, I had so many 9-inch Fords in my past, but that's how old Fords were. They all had 9 inches until the
$2,000 from being a fast car. Aren't they all?
Well, I just want to drive it. I lost my daily driver, which was not a race car, but it was a nice car. It was, I bought it new, kept it nice. But so this, I just want something I can get in. It's my car, and then later if I'm still around, I'll put a V8 in it. I don't know.
The great thing is we are so much more set up than we were when I got here.
When you got here, I was set up to make airplanes, and
you were not set up to make airplanes.
I had all airplane tools, big jigs in here to build wings and fuselages
and all that kind of stuff. We were so buried in hopes and dreams. There was no getting anything. 14-inch hand cooks, yeah, that'd be cool.
Well, that's just, it's a street tire, it's just new tires so I can drive it someplace. And the way I'm going to race this thing, No Name Nationals, with a 200 cubic inch 6, it's not going to be fast. 900 Ford's an easier gear change. Oh, it sure does. My Cougar. You also saw pictures for the of my Cougar with that 327 Chevy in it and 556 gears in her end. That thing was, and it had a turbo 400. That thing was a fast car, and it had an 8-inch Ford. It looks just like a 9-inch, but it's an 8-inch Ford. I never broke that thing. Even jumping on it with that car, with that engine, it was it put up with that. And anybody that's serious about racing didn't use the 8-inch; they used the 9-inch. I know there are a lot of people using 8 inches, but the 8.8s, I guess, are the thing to have now. So, and it'll bolt into this. So we may have to go through it though. Yeah, man, I used to swap 9-inch Fords pretty quickly. Does the 8-inch 8.8 have tapered axles? Tapered.
Like bigger out at the ends and smaller near the.
Oh, I have no idea. Tim says I have to wake up the dog. Tell her it's bedtime. Oh, isn't the dog the one that wakes you up to say it's bedtime?
Wait, you have to wake up the dog to tell her. Thanks for being here, Tim. We enjoy it.
Usually it's the other way around. Dog's waking him up going, hey, it's time.
I can't believe they make most of the engines, most of the performance engines, they're talking about 1,000 horsepower. That's a lot of horsepower.
Yeah, the most horsepower ever be in this thing's probably 350 or 400, something like that.
And that's a lot of horsepowers. That's a lot of fun. You should be having a good time.
My last one was probably, I don't know, it's a 302 that was just a nice warmed over street engine. It's probably 325 horsepower, something like that. You know, and that car was a lot of fun. It was plenty of fun to drive down the street in. Mustang rear will work if I go to modern wheels. Yeah, oh, and the other thing about this 8.8 is it's a four-lug axles. So I can put my same wheels on it. With 1,000+ horsepower nowadays, rear end ratios aren't that important. Man, I drove my son's new Toyota pickup.
Tundra.
My God, is that thing fast? That thing weighs 6,000 pounds. With us in it, it was us and the fuel he had in it was over 6,000 pounds. And that thing had just uphill, just, 0 to 60 in about 7 seconds, going uphill. you know how hard it is to push that 6,000 pounds uphill? That's not fun.
Kevin Smith says his Amish buddy has a Mustang to pull his buggy. It's got 1 horsepower.
Yeah.
Fastest buggy in town. Jeez.
Kevin Smith says 9-inch rear ends Ford are used in Chevys a lot. Yeah, I got a friend out in Yuma, Arizona. He's got a, I don't know what engine he has. About 500 something cubic inch big block Chevy in a Camaro, like a 76 Camaro. And, blower sticking out of the hood, 671 or 871 blower, something sticking out of the hood, drives it on the street. And he's got a 9-inch Ford under it, 9-inch Ford under the rear end, under the, for a rear end. Maybe long. I think you could bolt any Ford wheels to it. Just need the width to be right. Yeah, that's the one thing about these. These wheels that I have here on this parts car, they're all the same width, so I could put like 470 series tires on it or something. It would be nice to have some nice like 8 or 8.5 inch wide, or for the back, but I don't know. At some point, I gotta just run what I have. Well, Kim, what do we want to do now?
Well, I think that we actually did accomplish what we're going for. And it's been 2.5 hours. Our goal was not to have like the longest stream of the week. Or do you feel like you do want to get to work? Well, we might need to still do some shorts, or you could do a video talk about some of the stuff.
I have a pretty good stack of shorts right now. I have that one short I want to do with the ratchets, but right now my stupid brain won't pull out I think it's 5:30 seconds. Is Dean Stevenson still here, or did he leave? I need Dean's input.
Tell him what you want to tell him, and if he's not here, he won't answer.
I don't know if I even want to ask, because then everybody will. Cars drove weird with bias tires. I don't know. I always thought they drove fine, because there were no radials except on little tiny European cars until way later in my driving. I was probably 24 or 25 years old before I had a set of radial tires. I got a set of Michelin X radials on a Camaro I had, and then I put another set right away on a van. I liked them so much. But before that, all I had was bias ply tires. That's what there was. And bias ply tires don't catch every groove in the road. They're fine until they start getting worn out, and when the tread gets low on them, they catch every groove in the road. But when they have good tread on them, they don't do that. I remember that, getting new tires, and then all of a sudden they're not catching the grooves in the road anymore. But I suppose if you're driving them and they're worn out, yeah, that's exactly what happens. Granny called them radio tires. Yeah, radio tires. You're going down the road, you hear them. That was the real thing of radial tires. The old tires going over like ridges in the road, stuff, you hear them, little noises, But the radial tires made a much deeper pop, 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 pop going over strips on the road, and it sounded really good. And
welcome to the stream, Josh.
Maybe that's why she called them radio tires, because I heard them. See, using radials takes different alignment numbers on our old cars. Bias plies were fine until they weren't. Well, there's still things that are bias plies. Yeah, I think all the airplane tires are still bias plies. Dean
is here.
Dean is here. I am here. Dean, what was the drive? There's 1/4-inch drive, there's 3/8 drive, 1/2-inch drive. There's one that was done during World War II that's just slightly bigger than 1/4-inch drive. I'll get the ratchets. Maybe I'll do a short, but I want to have the numbers right, because I've got them written down at home, not here. But I'll get the ratchets.
America! God bless America. Airplanes use real rubber. Oh, for tires, Hippie Long.
I don't know, my ultralights, I used to use not wheelbarrow tires, but like what do you have on the mini bikes? Go-kart. I use go-kart tires. I use go-kart tires on the okay, Dean Stevenson hasn't said anything, has he? Oh, America. Okay, you see this? 2 snap-on ratchets. They look like 1/4-inch drive. Can I hold them like this? If you look at them, one of them, the drive is bigger. And the one with the bigger drive is a World War II era. This one's 1945. This one, I can't read what it says. This one's probably 1970 something, because I bought this in the 1970s. Probably 1975. So I'm not sure. Looks like I got calipers here. Yeah, some racing tires are bias ply.
Tractor tires.
So Dean, what's 281? 0.281. What is that in fraction? 0.281. I should know that. Danny Boyches, I'm glad I was too young for Vietnam. I was half old enough when it ended. Yeah, I went in during Vietnam, but it ended. It actually, they signed the Paris Peace Accords the day I took the oath, but I didn't know that till I got home. But still, it was going on, and I had a lot to do with it toward the end, like bringing everything out, bringing people out and everything. Yeah, but I don't know. Let me see here. I figured this out the other night. Where's my calculator? 0.281, probably 0.28125 divided by 0.03125. It's 9:30 seconds. So I was right. So this is a 9:30 seconds drive. That's really weird by today's standards, but that was normal back then.
Was it normal? Did everybody have it, or was it just a
I don't know. It
Snap-on
might have been
size?
Snap-on. I don't know. Yeah, Patrick Sullivan says 9:30 seconds. Danny Boyd, my dad got drafted for Korea, but the war ended before he went in. See, my dad and his brothers were both in World War II, and all three of those guys were still in the reserves when Korea started up, and both his brothers got recalled to go to Korea, and my dad didn't get recalled. He always thought he would, and he didn't get recalled, and he doesn't know why. He just didn't get recalled. And one of his brothers got out after Korea, and the other one, by then he had got some education and become an officer, and he retired as an Army officer in the 70s, probably 60s, probably late 60s. So yeah, 9:30 seconds. That's one fancy fraction.
Sure is.
And this is a socket with a 9:30 seconds drive. So you put this socket that looks like a 1/4-inch drive on this 1/4-inch ratchet, and it's all wiggly. It doesn't work. So I keep these kind of in the back of the box, and Kim knows that now. Yeah, Dean Stevenson says 0.281. Yep, 9:30 seconds. Thank you. Kevin Smith, never seen that 9:30 seconds. Yeah, I did a short, I think it was last night. I think it was the newest one I put out, or maybe the one before that. And it was about some Snap-on ratchets, and a commenter in there put something in there. He says, I have a 9:30 seconds ratchet, an old one. I'm thinking, oh, that's World War II. I got one of those. And then he said he converted it by putting a kit in it, a rebuild kit for one of these, and made it a 1/4-inch. And I'm thinking, man, why'd you do that? Well, it's probably so he can use it. But I kept mine like this because
we have plenty of wrenches, and it's just collector item at that point.
Yeah, the other thing is, look at the difference between, okay, there's the little handle that moves it from right to left or from forward to backwards. And look at the handle on this one. It's just a different looking thing. But it's interchangeable. But it's this is World War II era. This is 1945. So I guess we can do this short. Can we do this? I don't know exactly what I'm going to say.
Well, I think we should.
Pine and Oak Woodworks. Hey, I'm new here. Hey, welcome.
Hey, welcome in. We're the cleanup crew. I'm Kim.
Just so you're new, we'll tell you a little. We come up here to the shop and probably a couple of times a week do a live, kind of late in the evening. But on Tuesday nights, we do a live from our little studio in the house, and we show pictures of everybody's cars and things they're doing, and make it very interactive kind of show. And it's Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. It starts at 7. We usually go about 3 hours, 7 o'clock Central Time in the U.S. I don't know where you are, but you're welcome to come there too. And if you got a cool car or something you're working on, Pine and Oak Woodworks, like some kind of woodworks you're working on. Yeah.
Even if you don't have a car, if you just have some kind of woodworking project, we'd love to see that too.
And we show shops or whatever you're doing, or your Dean Stevenson is in New Zealand. He showed pictures of the roads he drives on, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so these have to come off here. This has to be turned on.
We're doing a short.
Do you want? They're gonna just observe us doing a short.
Okay, I was gonna end the stream, but if you guys want to see us make a short,
sometimes we do that. Oh, Tavo's here. This Grumpy Wannabe is back. Power out at work. So the power out at work, so you get time off. Not predicted to be back on for hours, so we get an early. That's pretty cool. See, and Tavo's in Australia, so we're worldwide here. I don't know where. Pine Oak, where are you? Woodworks. What should I call him? Woodworks. Where are you?
You got a channel, Pine Oak?
Woodworking. Well, that's really cool.
Does he have a channel, or is?
Yeah. Do you have a channel? Oh, it says I sub Buffalo Campo. Thank you very much. Okay,
It's great to have new people.
So let's see. I gotta think about what I'm gonna say here. Get my act together for a second.
Okay, tell me what you're going to
Get my voice good. I'm about talked out. I don't know. I'll wing it, and then if we don't like it, we'll redo it.
say. Okay. Are you ready? Go.
Buff Del Campo here. I did something about snap-on ratchets a few days ago, a little short video, and then one of the comments, somebody was talking about a World War II era ratchet they had. This is a 1/4-inch drive ratchet. Let's see if I can hold that. And this one is a 9/32, which is just bigger than a 1/4. And this is a 9/32 socket. If you stick it on there, it's all wiggly. It won't work. But you put it on here, and it fits tight. 9/32 drive. You don't see that very often. It's World War II era snap-on. The guy in the comments said he converted his to a 1/4-inch, put a kit in it. That's kind of interesting. But I've kept mine like that. So have any of you ever seen a 9/32 drive? Pretty cool. Did I go over time?
No, it was only 48 seconds.
48 seconds. Good. I don't know. Maybe we can use that, maybe not.
There you go. It's in the bank.
You're in Georgia. You're not very far from us. We're in Tennessee. We're out in the middle of nowhere. The closest city is Clarksville.
Yeah. We work on old cars. This is his.
That's my
Mercury
78 Mercury Zephyr Z7. Kim has several cars. Her daily driver.
We have about 11 cars on the property here that we work on in different stages. So
her daily driver is a 66 Dart.
Like the Studebaker.
Oh, the Studebaker.
Studebaker that's up there.
When somebody leaves a super chat, we light up the Studebaker, so I lit it up just for the fun.
We got the Studebaker. We did a Will It Run on the Studebaker like about a year and a half ago, maybe.
So we've got the Studebaker's all apart right now. It's a 61 Studebaker Lark. We have a 72 Plymouth Valiant. That's we put a engine in that.
We did a full refurbish on the motor for that, and my 66 got a new short block and.
She got new. Oh, you did everything.
Automatic transmission swap.
She did everything on that. Hey, Buff says ratchet is 72 tooth used with 12-point sockets from tight on click spaces.
Oh yeah, he says that the ratchet is 72 tooth, and then that is a 12-point.
This is not 72 tooth.
Let's see.
This is be lucky if it's 10 tooth.
Oh yeah, that's not a 72 tooth.
So, what other cars do we have around here, Kim?
Might be like a 24.
We have a what I call the fake Jeep. It's a 2008 Jeep.
It's 24.
It's a 2008 Jeep Patriot. Yeah. That's just a car. It's a pretty nice car, but it's not
it's not a project vehicle.
Let's see.
Got a bunch of trucks.
You got a bunch of trucks.
A Bronco 2 that I'm working on. That'll get finished this year.
What else do I have laying around? Oh, we got a couple of vans that are cargo vehicles.
Yeah, my first year I built a van, but that was a different time.
So, anyway.
LS swapped the world. No, we don't like to do that. He
says LT. 72 Valiant. Yeah, see, that's what I want to do to that Valiant is.
We looked at it the way he wanted to do it. I looked at the cost and the time, and I decided that we should do the Spitfire project first.
Okay, here, man, I didn't even mention the Spitfire. We got an old Spitfire that's made out of Bondo, so we took the body off.
Cut the body completely off.
It was so rusty that people had used like screen door material and then packed Bondo on it, and they kind of made the whole lower body out of that.
This thick of Bondo.
So anyway, that body's off of it, and the frame was bent. We straightened the frame, fixed it, got it all cleaned up, got the engine off of it, but we're going to put that back. We're going to build a body out of aluminum. So that'll be the next big project in here.
But his window got broken.
The window on this car got broken, so we got to do that first. and then we'll do the aluminum car, and then the 72 Valiant. We're going to do what they call in Australia and New Zealand. They call it a ute. It looks like an El Camino or a Ranchero up here, where they put a pickup bed in the back. So we're going to convert that to a like an Australian Valiant ute, and ute meaning utility. And so that's a project we got going. We have no shortage of projects. Just that's the way it goes.
Long says they have a Fairmont they're going to build after they realize the British crap is not worth it. Man.
Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. I look at that little 4-cylinder. You got that. It was a non-running car. You got it running right away. And
it came out of an old shed. It had been sitting there for 15 years.
So it's a simple little 4-cylinder pushrod engine. You know, it's like build an aluminum body around that, drive it around a little. It'll be fine. That'll be fun thing.
He used to build aircraft, so
yeah, I'm an airplane builder.
He's got all the materials to build an aluminum body.
Got so much aircraft aluminum around here. I don't think I'm gonna have to buy any. I might, but I've got enough that I probably won't have to buy more aluminum to build that car. So wash your hands, Roger. Who remembers that commercial? I don't know what that is. Do you know what that is?
I don't know.
Dean Stevenson. Oh, it'll be a VG. A VG. Is that a 72 Valiant? A VG. They have all these letter designations. You know, like in Europe, they have number designations for every car. It tells you the size of the body and the size of the engine just by the number of the car. Well, in Australia, they have all these. In New Zealand, they have all these letter designations that I don't know what they are. So I'm trying to learn them, struggling to learn them. And here we just have names for everything. I guess there's a few cars with numbers. SS 454, that kind of thing. So I think you've had it. I think you're tired.
I think we should be done with the stream. I hated to stop right when we got a new person in.
What was that lava soap?
Oh, I
remember lava soap. It was wash your hands, Jeffrey Down Under. Solvo soap. Solvol. Oh, Solvol soap. Oh, yeah, lava here was real gritty stuff. It was supposed to take grease and stuff off, but it was okay. Funny letters. 98 Explorers. You are in the U.S. as well.
Hippie Long says that the Triumph parts are expensive, but that a 600 horsepower 302 is like a low buck build.
You know what's really cool about that old Spitfire? It's a 1971 Spitfire, and it needed a lot of little parts like suspension parts and bushings and all that kind of crap. And Kim got online and she bought all this stuff. I think she's got $200 in like a wheelbarrow full of parts. It's like, man, that stuff is really reasonable. It was amazing. All new stuff.
So, really little light duty stuff.
It's little light duty stuff.
It's like a go-kart.
But all the engine mounts, transmission mount, all the bushings and crap up front. Did you buy ball joints?
Buy the engine mounts. No, ball joints. We don't need them yet.
Okay, so but all that stuff you got.
Everything that was brakes, bad, I got.
You got brake parts?
I got brake parts. We needed brake parts.
None of that stuff was expensive.
No. But it was starting to nickel and dime me. But it's gonna be good.
Dean Stevenson says the 1960 Falcon was an XK2000 in the U.S. project code language, like Z and Y car for Corvair. The BOP. Okay, Dean. Let's see if Dean can get some points. Dean, what was an XP887? That's a project code for a car. XP887. What was it? Just one I know off the top of my head because I remember it well.
The Leland Cars shares a lot of parts with a lot of other. I know, yeah. All the British Northwest company has all those parts, and a lot of them I think are listed for a bunch of cars. They all.
Gina will look it up. That's
pulled
not a
stuff out of the same bins.
I was hoping he'd pull it out of his brain. XP887. I'll give you a hint. It was a General Motors designation for a car.
Oh man,
that did become a production car for probably 8 or 9 years, maybe not quite 7 or 8 years, something like that.
I had friends roll a car one time, jumping it.
They rolled it. That's what I'm afraid of with your Bronco too. Those things are narrow and tall.
People drove them stupid and
I
erratically.
know.
You have to be aware that it's a top.
I've seen you out here spinning around tearing up my lawn though. You're gonna. I'm gonna go out there and have to go get my rollover chain and bring it back over.
Oh
Yeah.
man, all the windows are probably bust
It's
out.
not
of
a 40 XP 887. It was General Motors. Man, I'm surprised he didn't come right up. Nope. It was the Vega. Patrick Sullivan got it.
Oh, Patrick Sullivan Googled it. You get 3 points, Patrick Sullivan.
So,
Valiant Wagon would be fun. It will be fun, but it's a big commitment to get it done.
He says a Valiant wagon. I thought about making it a wagon, but I think it's the Ute is. I kind of want a little pickup truck, so
We have other trucks though.
Yeah, but I don't know. I want to do it. We've got the floor for the pickup bed. Tavo sent us all the dimensions and pictures and pictures and pictures of them apart. And
We'll do what we want. It's our channel.
I want to do that. Okay, so are you ready to?
We need to end the stream. Yeah.
We still got 23 people in here. That's amazing.
I know. There's a bunch of people came in tonight and hung out. I think everybody else is done, so we're
lower the Bronco. It's a 4-wheel drive.
No, I'm gonna go off road with that Bronco. Just you guys wait and see.
Oh, he says no. No, I did not Google it. 9-year production was a good hint.
Oh, okay. Well, good job. I'm glad I gave you points then.
Tavo says there's a 69 Valiant wagon in Georgia somewhere. Really? Yeah, they're all over in Australia, but not here. I didn't know there were any up here.
I think I saw one on Marketplace now and then.
Really? There's a car in Marketplace I want right now,
but no buying cars.
It's a kit car.
Oh, which one?
Fiberglass body.
Is it a Volkswagen one?
There's no chassis or anything. It's just the body, so it could go onto anything.
What is it?
Let's see. Patrick Sullivan XS87. No, it's XP887 was the. It was the. That was the project code in General Motors for the Vega for several years before they came out with the car. Anyway. Yeah, it's like 1:30 back there where you are, Dean. Or
you
Dan.
didn't tell me what the car was.
I know. I don't want the whole world to know. Oh, it's a thing called a Cimbria. Starts with a C, Cimbria, Cimbria, and it's a kit car body, and it's got going doors, and it looks like some kind of weird Lamborghini-ish looking thing.
Really?
But I've always wanted one, but it's not all there. It's just the body. It's like, okay, that would come here and it would sit out there, and we'd never do anything with it.
Well, or something else would take a back seat.
Google that. XP87 does show up first. I'm a whamble answer. Okay. Can you reach the mouse? You want me to reach the mouse? Neither of us can reach the mouse.
I'm sorry we have to be done, guys. But...
Yeah, it's what time is it? It's midnight plus 30 here for us, and so it's probably time to go home. And
we did make progress, though. We got the car in here finally, and you can actually kind of walk around it and get some work done.
There's enough room that we can walk around it, so we did some cleanup.
And it won't be in here too long. Once we get the window in here, it's going back out so we can get the Spitfire frame in here. The Spitfire's sitting in the front yard.
Yeah,
man, is that redneck or what? We got a
Danny Boyd THX 1137. What the heck is that?
Oh.
Man.
We will be live Tuesday night in the studio with the green screen. What are we doing? There's a theme.
It's Rat Rods and Ramblers, or Ramblers and Rat Rods, one or the other. So
have some pictures ready to send in.
And we don't have to do just Rat Rods and Ramblers. We can do any car you have,
like a
like a Bricklin. Yeah, do
maybe a
Bricklin.
little bit.
Yep.
So yeah, that should be fun. So I look forward to seeing you guys in there if you can make it. And yeah, if you're in the United States, enjoy your holiday tomorrow. And thanks everybody for being here.